All right.
Good.
I think we're back. Sorry about those issues. I think we're back. Just let me know how our audio sounds. We're both gonna speak, and yeah, that was funny. So we're back from that technical issues. L computer, right? L computer in the chat. What is up, Myro? Can they hear you? Want to test your voice?
Um, I think it should work, right?
Earth
Like,
Earth to Myro. Yeah, I can hear you
yeah.
good. Can you guys hear him good? Does he sound all glitchy? I hope not. Let me check the chat. Mm. All right, it's good. Awesome. We're back finally. I'm excited because we were getting into it and then we got cut off. And I think Myro, you guys had some good questions for him, and we're going to go ahead and answer those. So go ahead and like the stream, share it, because we're going to be getting into a bunch of dev questions here. It's going to be awesome. I'm really excited for what we're going to talk about, what we're going to reveal. We'll reveal details about the games we're working on, which we're working on ABR. If you don't know, if you missed the last stream, don't worry. You're not going to miss anything too much. So we were talking about ABR, which is Anime Break Race. It's a project we're working on. We were also talking quite a bit about different developers that Myro has met, and Myro he knows a lot of developers, like huge amounts of visits and huge games, and he's actually provided like suggestions that's made them get tons more concurrent players, tons more concurrent users. So that's like where he's able to like share a ton of stuff, because he not only is he networking, he's also sharing insights with developers and gaining them visits. And he's going to talk about some examples of where he's done this and like kind of give some more insights on how you guys can go about networking and starting to build out games like what we're trying to do here. Reveals some insights from ABR, Anime Break Race, and yeah, so overall, take it off, Myro, and let us know in the chat. Make sure that the audio is still good. Let us know how it's going.
Yeah. We just got a question in the chat, right?
Do we?
Maybe it's the first question, so I was like, why not just start it off by answering that? Well, he was specifically asking you, like, what's the most effective method for advertising?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you want to go answer that?
Well, I would say that it's changing, because they first of all they made sponsors less effective. Now they're looking at like changing the options you even have for advertising. So I think overall long term, like from my experience, because I'm building a YouTube channel, obviously I'm building this YouTube channel. I have Jimmy Games, which is a group of meme games. There we did a lot of sponsors. We used a lot of sponsors, and we got to like nearly 20 million visits, right? And getting a lot of Robux experience there. But the game is changing, so sponsors are not nearly as effective. So I think personally, based on what I'm doing now, I think the best thing you can do is to build some sort of following, some sort of audience. And when you can do this on YouTube, you can do this on TikTok, you can do this on X. And when you build an audience, you can actually begin to have fans. You can help them out, and you can, you know, start to build an audience, and you can help them, and they'll help you a bit too in return sometimes. Just like what we were talking about earlier with networking, it's the exact same thing. And I think that the best way to advertise is definitely giving value, building out your own personal brand of some sort related to, what you're doing on Roblox. So you could even copy my channel. I'm giving you permission to copy it, kind of how I do my videos. And that's an okay way to start. And you can tweak it up as you go. You can tweak the way that you make your videos, and you can start copying me if you want. I'm just throwing that out there if you want a way to start your channel. But you know, when you build a following, you can begin to promote your games. And that's what I'm doing right here. We're promoting ABR. We're also sharing the lessons from it, providing more value to you guys, helping you out with the lessons that we're learning. And also, bringing on Myro, who I'm working with to make ABR, and he is sharing a lot of insights he's learned from making ABR, and also from, well, networking with the people who are helping to make ABR, and a bunch of other people as well. Now, again, ABR's Anime Break Race, learning a lot there. And yeah, so overall, building a following is looking like the most consistent way, because what you want is something that is a foundation. You want consistency for the long term. If you're just playing the short term game, yeah, TikTok, sure, TikTok, you can blow up your game, or sponsors that might work for the start, but if you are looking to be a developer long term, if you're looking to have something that actually lasts, I would recommend building a following and providing value over a consistent period of time, and then eventually, well, promoting your project. So yeah, back to you, Myro. I think you had some other questions you wrote down, but we're gonna try and get to a bunch of your guys' questions. Keep liking the stream, keep sharing, and it's gonna be awesome. And I can't wait for what we're about to reveal.
Um, so I wanted to just like add on to what you were saying
For sure.
with the advertising because I feel like you did miss like a huge point in like today's era within like Roblox. Well, you can call it an era or like a trend, but like it doesn't seem like it's going anywhere. It's just getting it's gonna be more accessible to everyday Roblox users. So this thing would be like free UGC. That's exactly what I'm trying to point out because
Oh
it's
yeah,
sort of like sort of like TikTok, but it's on Roblox. Everybody wants items, but they want it for free. A lot of people don't even spend that much Robux, for example, for clothing. You have people that just buy Robux for clothing, and then you have people that buy it for game passes, right? But
mm-hmm.
either way, there's one area or one section of people not getting actual clothing, and then obviously you would love to have clothing, I would say, and then there is free UGC for this. Somebody mentioned last stream about how there's games where like you don't move at all, and those games are like don't move for free UGC. So it's basically like time based. If you stay in this game for this amount of hours, then you get a free UGC. And if you're wondering like how they make money, it's based off of premium payouts. Because if they get a few thousand of people or like few hundreds to like constantly rotate in and out, and they have premium, then they're gonna like stack up a lot of money over time. So
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
then the thing about free UGC is even though you're not gonna sustain the amount of players, say like I have friends that had gotten free UGC for their game, and their game was at 100 CCU, and then they released the free UGC, and then their game jumped to 2,000 concurrent users. But then afterwards, their game stayed at like 800 concurrent users. So the thing about it is that they're coming just for your item. They're not coming for your game. But either way, statistically, that looks good. And then because you had such a spike, it would slightly improve your game's algorithm at the same time. So like it's a win-win because all like the thing about Roblox's algorithm is that it's not in like it's not straightforward. If you look at Blade Ball, it didn't appear on the front page until after like 3 weeks. Did you notice that? Like, did anybody notice that? It took the game
Mm-hmm.
like more than 2 weeks, and it already had like 100k CCU. Same thing with the game called Anime Champions. The I did a little bit of like a research study a few months ago about the front page. Um, I don't really I didn't figure out how to get on the front page exactly, like the algorithm study, but like I figured out what a game needs to say get in a category of some sort. But I also realized there that Roblox's algorithm would like consistently update a game like every 3 weeks of that game or like every 2 weeks. Even if your game has 100,000 concurrent users on say day 5 of the release, it's still not gonna like go somewhere in a category on Roblox unless you just sponsor the experience. But that's also a really good thing. Like if your games are brand new and it's already doing good, why not just throw money to sponsor the experience so then they see it there? Since obviously it won't be on the actual front page until a few weeks. You know what I mean? So you could
Mm-hmm.
actually keep it on somebody's page while it's still doing good. So like it's like your own front page. I don't know how to like explain it, but like if your game's already doing good, just like sponsor it on the page of the players. Another good thing about free UGC would be that although you still um lost a bunch of players, but you still gained a good like 400 players, for example. What would happen is that because players just played your game, right? You probably had the other 1,000 people that just played your game. It's gonna stay on the recently played. Them playing it just built a memory of them being in your game. Maybe one
True.
day in a week or in a month, maybe one day they just like get a memory of playing your games, you know what I mean? And then they just go back and find it. So like even with for UGC, although you may not build like an instant relationship with your players, they're gonna one day come back. You know what I mean? There's always that chance.
Mm-hmm.
And there's always at least going to be one person, like 100% chance, at least one person is gonna just remember your game and then come back to it. You know what I mean? So like you just like build that memory of your game in their head just off of them joining for one item. You know what I mean? So like you keep players, but then you actually gain access to future players that already play your game. It's like it's complex, but like it's really helpful.
That is a very good point. I Free UGC is definitely something that is taking off a lot of games, and while I haven't applied it personally to any games in Jimmy games or anything, I know that we are probably going to do that on ABR. The What you're talking about people coming back is actually what I'd like to point out about that is that there is a certain metric in your game analytics on Roblox that is your returning users, that the percentage of people who come back to your game. And this is a very key metric that, well, impacts the performance of your game. And you can see the different metrics of your game by clicking the three dots on your game and then viewing the analytics of your game. And you can actually gain a lot of insight. Roblox has been updating this like crazy, and you can see a lot of things that if you can improve these metrics, they will push your game more in the algorithm. That's just what the algorithm is designed to do. Designed to make people come back to games, designed to make people play longer, designed for those goals. And if you can fulfill those goals, and well, what are Roblox's goals? If we think about this just logically, like, well, Roblox is a company, a large company, and they want to make money, and they also want to have their users on the platform as long as possible, right? So if you can actually align your game's goals with that, and this is partly why I talk about making games partly for money at least, because when you can align your game's goals with that, you're aligning with what Roblox wants, and it's just natural logic. And Roblox has documentation about this, that when you actually align your game to having high playtime, to having users that come back, to having good monetization, they actually tell you that, well, they are going to promote your game more in the algorithm. And that is also what I've seen on Twitter, on X, is that this is
Yeah.
absolutely true across the board,
Yeah.
that people will go and improve their games.
Hmm.
They'll improve their metrics in their game, they'll improve the retention, and there's people who will just blow up their games out of nowhere, thousands of CCU from nothing, because they increase the retention in the game, they increase the playtime, the amount of time people play, or maybe they increase the monetization. You see this, and you see that there is the people's games just blow up off of increasing these metrics, and that the algorithm on Roblox can be kind of random, but it isn't completely random because it's increasing these games based on these metrics. And this is just what I'm seeing, observing across the board. And this aligns with what Myro's talking about a bit as well. And when you can align with these metrics and add in that monetization, you can really take your game far.
Yeah. Actually, what you're saying is like a perfect example of like what we see currently with like Pet Simulator X. If you notice like on Twitter, Preston and a few other developers, like with the larger games, they've been complaining about how their game's been falling off. Obviously, Preston's like not actively updating it anymore as much as it used to, but either way, it was falling off, and he even uploaded statistics about the game and like how it's been dropping ever since a Roblox update. And like even what Smarty talks about recent like his view on like the recent retentions, Roblox is actually favoring, I would say, more player like the games, meaning games that players stay in longer, it seems like.
Yeah.
Um well, it doesn't seem like they actually favor the more richer games, the games that are making them the big buck. Because, I mean, the most obvious one that we can all see and just relate to would be Pet Simulator X. Pet Simulator X was like the most earning game, and look what happened to it, too. We just straight up seeing it downfall, and Roblox is not really caring about it or any of the other games. They're just like improving, they're just improving everything else. They're trying to make it like more what players want than something that's built in. Like when people say somebody was pushed into the industry, like an industry plant, somebody that was like purposely made to be famous or whatever. I feel like they're making it more of like good games instead of like somebody pushing themselves into like popularity by like heavily spending money on ads or something like that. You know what I mean? Like it's pretty odd, but like that's how Roblox is now.
I see, and that's just based on like what you've seen, like yeah, because you're right that it's probably mostly based on playtime because I'm basing it off of like what I've seen and also on Jimmy games
Yeah.
when we've increased the playtime, like we just optimize the game, make it less laggy, add new features that players like, add new goals for them to achieve. The playtime has increased, and we instantly saw some changes in the amount of players and the concurrent users. And yeah, I think it definitely does reflect that. So it probably is more important than the monetization, just based on that and how that's the main thing that seems to change it.
Okay. Should I answer a question? I see one.
Sure, yeah. Hmm.
So Inferno, right? He asked about how to decide prices no, prices for monetization. And
Mm.
I didn't understand difference between Game Pass and developer products. Um, you can explain the Game Pass and developer products. I'll explain like monetizing them
Are you
if that
talking
works.
about the difference between them?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
asking the difference between Game Passes and developer products, and then I'll just talk about monetizing it.
I
You know,
see.
yeah.
So game passes are permanent, and developer products you can buy an infinite amount of times, and they also don't show up in the game store. So when you sell developer products, well, you can actually make a lot more from developer products in theory because people can buy them an unlimited amount of times. So really, like I know from Jimmy Games, we had game passes, and the thing is, if you monetize your game with only game passes, you're actually limiting the amount that you can make naturally because, well, you can buy it once. The game pass is permanent, and if you don't have any, well, developer products, there are no things that they can buy infinitely. What we want in games, in game design, when I've studied books on this and when I've studied monetization, you want basically to have it so that the player could theoretically spend unlimited amounts of money in the game. Like they could spend any amount. And the way to do that is to have things they can buy an unlimited amount of times. And well, the way that you can do this with developer products, well, developer products you can buy an unlimited amount of times, right? So, developer products, because of this, you can make a lot more. And there are a few different types of like developer products that you can sell. So, developer products, you could do currency. A lot of people, that's the most common one. You sell more coins, you sell more gems, or you sell something like that. So there's something called soft currency and hard currency. And soft currency is the coins that you earn in your game, and these can be bought. But hard currency is the one that's harder to get or impossible to get, and you only sell this. Like you only sell this via developer product, or you can just make it really hard to get. So that's kind of like the overall like how you use Game Pass's developer products and the difference between them, and also like how to monetize effectively with them because well you want to have a mix of both, but if you want to maximize your game's potential, like developer products, that's just from what I've seen. Developer products are going to be the best because you can have unlimited earning from them. So, yeah.
All right. Um, there's another question based on retention. For those who like don't know what retention is, it's like players staying within the game. It's basically like the time within your game of like per player. Um, so who is this? Okay, so Robert, right? In the chat, he said what would be some ways to increase retention rate in say like an obby. Um, in an obby, you could have like free rewards, right? That's an option. But you can also look at like obbies that are actually succeeding. You know what I mean? That's like that's the best way to actually go and find ways to improve your game design wise. Just look at games that are succeeding. I mean, within your obby, just add like free gifts. So like every second or not every second, but every few minutes, the more you wait, you can get a bigger prize.
Yep.
That's something within an obby that you can do. I mean, what's in your hobby? Do you have like pets? Do you have, say, cars? Here's an example. Um, Cars, you can buy cars after reaching the end, say, a few times. But then you can have it so if a player has playtime for like, say, 3 hours, then they automatically unlock this one car that goes above average speed. You know what I mean? It's all about like working towards something. You don't want to just
Definitely.
like add something random. You need to like have them work towards something. Even like every second counts, honestly, in something like this,
Yeah.
because retention is basically what the front page is about nowadays. So like that's really what I have to say.
Yeah, and
But
that's what the
yeah,
the top what is it called? The most engaging category is all about.
yeah. I mean, that's what the front page is becoming now. Not only that, what is this? Um, Let me see. Is there any other questions? Build game logic, for example, like invert controls. You have some scripting questions, actually.
Yeah. To invert controls, you'd probably use user input service. Um, you might have to disable some of the default ones. Now, I haven't really done that, so I'm not exactly sure. But you probably would be doing something with user input service to answer your question. So I would look into that on the developer documentation.
The question under that is like, how do I find builders or programmers?
That is
You
a
could
good
just check
question.
the Smarty server. Smarty
Yep.
legit has a server. It's like 10,000 users, I believe,
Yeah.
right?
Actually, like 11,000 now. That's a really good point. Like, but you do have some advice for like finding good ones and
Yeah.
too
Yeah, I
as well.
mean, the servers are the best way to go about it. Like hidden devs, Smarty devs. I'm going to actually make a post tonight in hidden devs. Maybe
Oh.
somebody wants to get hired. It's just a post based on modeling,
Hmm.
but um, but yeah, I'd say if you want to hire people, just go over there. I mean, it all depends on your budget as well, because you can go to Twitter and just contact people from there, and then usually the bigger developers they would have their Discord like showing their Discord tag on their Twitter page, so then you just add them and then you talk to them from there, or you can like click on their portfolio link. When I say portfolio link, I mean like their Discord, because some people have Discord portfolios. So, I mean, I wouldn't say finding a builder or programmer is like a skill because it's something that you have resources to and then you go get. I mean, the thing about programmers are really hard to find, but like Smarty might have the biggest server for scripters, maybe,
Hmm.
maybe,
Well,
because
possibly. Hmm.
Smarty's audience is like really scripter oriented.
Hmm.
If you notice that, like a lot of his let's say biggest videos are just like scripting related, so it's a lot of people actually working on their craft scripting wise.
That is a very good point. I think a lot of you are scripters because the scripting guide is the most popular video on the channel. Has like over 2.1 million people have learned how to script from it. That's like the population of Chicago or something. So that that was crazy. So that is a good point that a lot of people here are scripting oriented and Myro has a good point that if you join Smarty Devs, you join the Discord, you start providing value, start networking, start finding developers, well, you're going to naturally meet a scripter pretty quick because well, most of our community is trying to learn scripting or is a scripter, and we're all trying to master development in some way, shape, or form. So, yeah, Myro has a good point, and Smarty Devs is really going to help you. By the way, guys, like the stream and make sure that you share it if you're enjoying, if you're gaining value, because we're just going to continue answering questions based on what
Okay.
we're learning, based on our experience, based on the games that we're working on, including Jimmy Games, including ABR, including the future projects, and including the millions of visits that Myro has just influenced on like huge games and even front
Yeah.
page games at times through his network. So we're going to continue talking about that. Just make sure to like the stream so more people can find it, so that more people can share questions and we can make the content even better. We're just going to keep going. So yeah, back to you, Myro. If there's any question you want to answer or anything you want to bounce off of.
There was a question, right? What was it again? How do I convince my friend to be my developer partner? This one's a bit interesting, I'm not gonna lie. Um, how about like you started off, Smarty, and then I'll answer with my opinion because this is very like opinion based. You know what I mean? Because you can't really like heavily force somebody, to like join you or whatever. You know what I mean?
What was
So
the
like,
question?
um, the question is, how do I convince my friend to be my developer partner?
Hmm.
You
I
can't
see.
really force somebody, so
Yeah.
like let's see your opinion and then my opinion and then just share it out.
Well, that's an
So
interesting that is an interesting question because that actually brings up a very good point about okay, so the let's look at the sentence here. How do I convince my friend to be my development partner? Was that the question, right?
yes.
So the issue with that question is you're trying to convince somebody to do something. There's two things here. So I'm into business, right? And in business, in sales specifically, where you're trying to sell products and trying to sell ideas or trying to sell anything really, when you're in sales, you know, there's two types of sales. There's persuasion and then there's convincing. And convincing is trying to convince somebody to do something for your needs. And the thing about this is that it's not really sales. It's not really a good way to sell something. It doesn't matter if you're trying to sell somebody on being involved in your game. It doesn't matter if you're trying to sell somebody on being, um, just buying something or playing your game. It's all sales. You're selling something. If you're trying to convince, that's the wrong way to go about it. You're going about it for your needs. What you need to do is you need to persuade, which is where you look at their needs and you say, okay, how can I go about helping this person achieve their needs? And what are their needs? Well, if they're a developer, what are their needs? Well, they want to learn more about development. They want to earn Robux. They want to make successful projects one day. They want to learn how to learn more about development as a whole. So when you look at what their needs are, right? When you look at what their needs are, then you can begin to help them, and you can begin to sell them or convince them, not convince them, but sell them better on the idea of working with you, for example. So if I was going to my friend, I would be looking at, well, what do they want? What do they want in development right now? And what are their needs, right? So, and how can I help them achieve that? And if working on my project is going to help them, well, yeah, I'm going to invite them to work on my project. And if they agree, and if they think that it's going to help them too, well, then that's good. I've successfully persuaded them. But that's because I was involved in their needs and what they want and what they care about, rather than just what I want. If I just want somebody to work on my project, it's just not going to work. You need to think about other people's needs, and that's how you become more persuasive and how you ensure that you're actually you know properly doing it in a way that helps them and helps you as well. And I think that's the key there when you're trying to convince somebody to join your project. Well, you're just focused on your personal needs. When if you focus on others' needs, you're going to have a much higher chance of actually finding somebody who enjoys it and wants to. And that's just something I've learned just learning sales. And sales doesn't just include like products. You're selling an idea here. You're selling the idea of being on your team, of working with you. And you got to align that to what they want and what their needs are. And that's why providing value is so important, because if you can help people out, help them achieve their needs, well then you're starting from the right place. And that's exactly what I've learned on YouTube, exactly what I've learned on in sales and business, in making games even, like you want to serve the players' needs, all of this stuff. It's all connected. And when you are persuading rather than convincing, hope I've gotten that across, you're going to do much better. So it's not about convincing somebody to join your team. It's about persuading, and if they don't want to join, that's all right. You want the best for them, they want the best for you, and that's my take on it. So, yeah.
Ah, honestly, I was thinking like when he said that, I was thinking like maybe he's trying to get his friend as a co-owner. I mean, you made like the bullet points basically where you want to like fairly share the work, like what are you going to provide and what is the other person going to provide.
Mm-hmm.
Um, realistically, I mean, you just got to think about it because my first ever game, right? This like never released. It was like my first ever game, and I actually learned a lot from it. So like, if you make a game and it fails, like that, like even if it doesn't release, like you can learn a lot from it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like a lot from it. Like that first game, I was co-owning it with a friend, right? I think, yeah, he convinced me that he should be a co-owner, right? But we just kept on developments. He added things that I did not really want, and then that's the thing about co-ownership. I feel like you just need to get like you need to make sure like the roles are clear and like it basically the issue within this was that he wanted something else that I wanted. You know what I mean? So like not everything was clear and then like I myself lost motivation after he was adding in systems as well as like visuals that I actually didn't want within the game. You know what I mean? So you had all these months into the development just for something to be like changed randomly, but I feel like you just got to think about like the long run. Do you think you'll be in a situation like I'm in? Are you really that compatible with that person? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
that's a good point.
so far me and Smarty hasn't actually like had a disagreement. I mean, if me or him has a disagreement and then like my scripter, etc., they can back it up. You know what I mean? Like they've made me change my mind like a few times because I like to get like criticized for like if I'm doing something bad or terrible because I'm just trying to like it's gonna sound like cringy or whatever, but I'm trying to just be like better than everybody else within the space. You know what I mean? And you should want to be better yourself. You're here watching a live stream at like nearly 1 o'clock in the morning trying to learn to get better. So like, you know what I mean? I'm talking about an EST at least.
Yeah. Well, anyone watching's already ahead. That's a good point.
But yeah, what's another one?
Another question, guys. Keep them coming. Keep the likes coming.
I think
Keep
you
sharing.
had
We are at 54 viewers. That's very good,
so
but I know that there's more people who want to learn about development. And if you share with friends, if you drop a like, I'd really appreciate it. And I'm sure that anyone else who comes to the stream because of that would as well. So, yeah.
okay. I found Growl RBLX. He said, "What are your thoughts on percentage sharing with other developers? For example, I have a game I've been making for almost 2 months, and it's really good. Has good UI. I know nothing about scripting, so I hired a scripter for 20% of my game, and I feel it like it's too much. I don't know if I'm wrong. What do you think?" You there?
Hmm. Sorry,
I'll
can you
send
sum that up? I was reading
I'll
something.
send it I'll send it to you in Discord
All right.
so you can read it. This is exactly what he wrote. Or you can scroll up in the chat. It's a long
Percentage
message. So
sharing. You've done a lot of managing the percentage sharing, right? So you might be able to, you might have some insights on that one. Um,
yeah, no, I don't know if like thing is the way I do it is I do it like realistically, like how other front page games would put out their percentage, right?
mm,
I know some people may not like it, but like when I make games, I make it like with a passion. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
I aim to day when you hear like a Myro game, it's not gonna be like terrible. You know what I mean? It's gonna be like perfect or I wouldn't like disappoint. So that's something that's also a reason why ABR hasn't released yet because we're trying to make it like more and more better for like the public, especially since more competition is releasing and we just want to be like ahead of the crowd. Um but when it comes to percentage sharing, I feel like for first game and for every game I think you should do that. I mean, unless you're like a millionaire, right? Or like you have thousands of dollars, like I mean, you can commission everybody, but I feel like always give your scripter a percentage, right? And then if you have any long-term role, I think it's better to give percentage because I feel like when they make the product for you for the game, it's like they tried more because now they know that if they put more effort into the object, like say the model, if they put more effort into it and the game makes more money because like say that little change, now they feel better and like it encourages them to do better work so they can get more money well, the game would obviously make more money and then they make more money. You know what I mean? I
Hmm.
feel like it's encouraging when you have a percentage than USD because for USD you're just doing the work for this amount and you don't really care about the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Care about the game still going at the same pace just so you can keep the money right. Um, but 20% for your scripter is actually really good. I've
Mm.
never given a scripter under 20% actually.
Yeah.
I typically give scripters like 20 to 30%. That's what I usually do, right?
Mm.
Um, I think that's fair, right? It depends like what are you trying to do? Trying to get a if you're trying to get a investor, say, I mean maybe give your scripter like 25%, your investor like 20 or 25, and then the rest could be for you. You know what I mean?
Mm.
The
Yeah.
lowest I would ever accept for myself in percentage would be 40. That's still a good number if you think about it. Your game makes like 100 mil, you get 40 mil. You know what I mean?
I
Um,
see. Yeah.
but obviously, hmm?
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, that is a good point. I would agree. I think for a lot of the people here, they might be,
Yeah,
especially if they're just starting off, for especially like one of their
yeah,
first projects. If you're only doing percentage and you don't have that much work under your belt, you don't have
yeah,
anything to fund with already, you
yeah,
might want to do 50-50 just because that's more fair if
yeah.
you are a new dev and you're looking for just a
Uh,
partner in development specifically. If you're looking for different devs, like, yeah, you might be doing more complicated percentage breakdowns. But for like the
yeah,
newer devs, I think personally, I think I see percentages just being better, just 50-50
yeah.
percentage, just to keep it more fair.
Um, what is it
But
called? For my first game too, I also did percentages, right? Everything was percentages. At that time, literally having like 3K Robux was a lot to me. You know what I
mm,
mean? I was just a regular Roblox player getting into development. And everything was just percentage based. I had a scripter, she had 25%, and then I got a builder that had 5%, then it grew up to 25%, and then I had a co-owner that got 25%, and I got 25%. But like I still felt demotivated because of me having the same amount of percentage as everybody else. I don't know, but like I thought that
ooh,
I deserved more or whatever, but like that's also why you have to I feel like do everything and feel comfortable doing it, you know what I mean? Like there's there's a lot to it. I mean, if you're hiring a modeler, I would say like give a modeler 5 to 10%, right? Um I see 5% being like the sweet number for modelers, but it depends how much work they're doing. If you want just like regular models for your map, give them like 5 to 10%. I mean, if you're asking them for like clothing models, right? Obviously, those take a lot more work, and then um, realistically, they probably would look for 15%. Scripters are within that 20 to 25 range, say 20 to 30%. Investors are like, say 15% to 30%. And that's really it. No complicated than that.
I see. Yeah, yeah. So overall, it can really vary, right? And for most people here, they're
Yeah,
probably going to keep it simple because, especially
yeah,
most of you are probably new developers. And I think keeping it simple, ensuring that you're like clear and that you aren't, neither of you are getting the shorter end of the stick really, and just keeping it clear is probably the best thing, and not getting too in depth on the amount of people who you're hiring off the bat, not getting too crazy with that, because I know Myro's breaking it down crazy for you, like, but the thing is, when you, especially when you're just starting, I wouldn't go crazy on this. But yeah, those are some good points. I would like to answer another question here with um, Smeltify, I believe is his name. It says, he said, is it good to directly watch vids on how to make games? Example, I want to make a tower defense game. Or should I learn all the basics and advanced things so I can make it on my own in the end of it all? That is a good question. Now, I would say to um you can do it either way, but personally what I would do is I would learn the basics first, because, and I actually said this in my recent scripting video, but if you learn the basics first, you can build from there. This is true for anything, even if it's just like school. If you jump into school and you are learning to write and you start writing about like Shakespeare as your first assignment, you and you're in like first grade or something, and Shakespeare is super complex. If you're doing that, it's not gonna make like any sense, right? And you also probably aren't gonna learn anything. You're probably copying the teacher. So it's kind of like that. Um, and man, there's people jumping all over the place here, but it's kind of like that. Like, so what I would do is I would learn the basics, and this goes for everything. So I would, you could use my scripting guide, for example. And if you are wanting to watch vids on how to make a specific type of game, I think that's all right once you learn the basics and a bit of the intermediate stuff and you have a good grasp on it. I think that's all right because now, like, for me, I know that I'm pretty good. I'm pretty proficient in beginner, intermediate, advanced scripting. I know that if I go to, for example, your example, like a tower defense game tutorial on YouTube, I understand the code, but most of them, they aren't really, I can tell, they aren't really explaining like all the different things that you would need to know as a beginner. And it ends up just being, well, copy and paste. So you want to learn those core principles, you want to learn those core ideas before you get into those specific tutorials. And that's what I would overall say. So like if you learn that the basic stuff first and the intermediate stuff first, you're going to be able to understand what those are actually saying, and you're going to be able to change it, edit it, and from there, it's just another resource, and it's okay to use. So that is a good question right there. But overall, stick with the basics first, and learn and become proficient, and then get into specific things. Now, Myra, do you see any
There's
specific things you
more.
want to answer?
There's more questions. I'm
A
going
lot, yeah.
to answer about how much visits does your game have to get a good amount of Robux? Um, well, I feel like I I should just let Smarty explain this to you. I mean, I've like studied these things even
Mm.
before the call. I was doing some math, like
Mm-hmm.
because me and him were just like talking about some Fortnite game, and then we were comparing like Fortnite creative earnings to Roblox earnings, like Roblox developer earnings, like an example. But I feel like he should just say this, and then I will just like partly talk on it. So yeah.
All right. So we're talking about how much you can make, like per visit, kind of.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you the message in Discord real quick so you
Perfect.
can read
Perfect.
it. Like a good amount of Robux. How much visits? So basically, like how much. I like to say concurrent users. I don't
Yeah.
really like to say visits
Yeah.
because
Cause.
visits are like easily gained. Like you could just
Mm-hmm.
like join a. Like,
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. It is definitely more a question about concurrent users because visits, you could have visits, but does your game still have players? I know that in Jimmy Games, for example, we have visits, but we also still have players consistently, which, you know, proves its longevity a bit and proves that it's going to continue making more and more. And that shows how, when you are making games, when you're applying monetization, um, the concurrent users are better to look at than the visits. So that's just about this question as a whole. Um, it's not really about visits, it's more about concurrent users and about that daily amount that you're making. And um, when you have a game that has a good amount of concurrent users, so for example, let's say 70 or 100, because I know this from Jimmy Games, that's what we've had consistently for a long time. You can see this on the group. I know that it can make thousands and thousands of Robux a day. It can make 6,000, 10,000, even 20,000 Robux a day, like peak on holidays, even more sometimes. And I know that when you have a good, consistent amount of concurrent users and you have good monetization, you can make a good amount. Uh, Cinnamon
yeah.
YT, can you stop spamming, please? Thank you. I appreciate the sub, but no spamming, or we'll mute.
Also,
But yeah,
what's Marty talking about? Like holidays. You know, in holidays, the gaming industry makes about like triple the money it makes yearly within that session. And one thing that you all should like note is that like right now it's like fourth quarter. It's like the last quarter of this year, right? And it's
true.
Christmas upcoming. This is where people spend a lot of money, right? A lot of people buy gifts, buy Robux especially. So what's up now is like, why not just release your game? Like, just focus on it right now and just try release it. It's like Christmas time, more people have more money to spend, and people are just gonna stop by your game. I have like a little brother, and I just see he spends Robux on like random things. Like, I'm
Yeah,
starting to learn that like you have actual little kids that are like asking their parents for money, and like they're joining games that you never seen before, games that like have like 14 active users, and they're just like making money off of like a person that just played it once, just because like they don't really know what they're buying, but they're just buying it. Like, that's something too. Like, if
true.
you notice hobbies, they do a lot of pop-ups. Something like that would especially work on like a younger audience too. I'm not saying like take all their money. I wouldn't like really do that, but I'm just saying like that's something you could do. Like, right now is probably the time for you to like work on something and then release it. You know what I mean? Like, even if you don't have a set release date, I would say aim for December 1st, or like sometime in December. Like, if any of you guys had questions on that, December's like the right time to do it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because I know in Jimmy Games I think it was like, it was a lot. It was like 40,000, 60,000 Robux a day at peak with Sussy Imposter Land.
Yeah.
Like literally, a game like that can make that much Robux, which is like hundreds of dollars right there,
Yeah.
at peak. And that's just an example of how high CCU, good monetization, and good timing, like we're talking about, can make a ton. Like that just shows you the potential here. And if you, like Myro said, and like I'm saying, Christmas season, holiday season, um, you can make a lot more because more players have Robux from Christmas, etc. And it's not just on Christmas Day. This goes for weeks afterwards. I remember we had like barely any
Yeah.
money coming in before that, and then boom, Christmas Day, 40,000 Robux, 40,000 Robux, 60,000, and it just kept going for a while. Of course, it dies back down later in January, but it shows how that quarter four, and again, Q4, quarter four, that is like the final quarter of the year. So if you split the year up into quarters, one, two, three, four, the last quarter of the year is we're going to make the most. And this goes for business, this goes for development, this goes for even YouTube right here, like what I'm doing. It all goes together, all across all markets. You're going to see that you're going to make more when you are in the Q4.
Also, I feel like somebody in here, right? I had this idea, but I'm not gonna do it. Somebody here can actually start like a season-based obby studio, I would say, because like there's not a person yet that would like make rotational season obbies. For example, like a summer obby, and then you have like a school obby. Like, I know there's stuff like that, but I feel like that's an idea. Like, somebody could make a heavily like back to school obby, or like then a winter obby, a fall obby, like based on seasons. That I feel like that would be interesting. But I wanted to also say that because there's like quarters within the year, right?
Mm-hmm.
You guys can, if you guys want to make money right now, because I know you guys are like all developers that are more new sided, and right now, and even for me and Smarty, we have big ideas. But the bigger your ideas get, the more money you need, and that's exactly what you guys want. You guys want to make all these cool games and make your game on the front page. But right now, you guys are going towards that. Um, Even during the season, you can make season-based games, like games that are good for like one season. But since the season is currently trending in real life, right? In real life, like for that entire month, that's an actual like trend. Like, winter is a trend if you think about it. Winter is like an entire month or two. So like if you make a winter-based game, you probably would make a good amount of money, and then obviously it dies. Like, it instantly dies after winter, but like still you made a good amount of money because it's based off of something that's going on in real life. You know what I mean? I don't know. I
Definitely.
just
No,
thought
yeah, I
to say
agree. Uh,
something.
like seasonal updates or things going on, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
That ties in with the Q4 stuff because then you're probably kind of amplifying it too at the same time, right? Because
Yeah,
you're not only is it Q4, not only is it that time, you're also adding an event related to it. Good
yeah.
point, yeah.
Somebody said, do you think that immersive ads are worth it? Um, if you're talking about those ads that Roblox included, like where Roblox pays you to put up ads.
I think he might be
Um,
talking about the um
Immersive ads.
he might be talking about whether you actually use those to promote your game.
Oh
We
no,
haven't
I
used
would
those yet.
I would do that. I
But
would actually
I
do.
would expand into that because that's what Roblox is trying to go into.
See, Jimmy Games can do that.
Yep.
Like there's ways like
We're
they have like this one game. I don't know if like they can if I can say it on YouTube because like the poop thing. Remember that one game? Like the it's called like poop something. Yeah, that one game. He can add immersive ads to it because there's a lot of open space in that lobby, and
true.
immersive ads just pay you just because you have ads up.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So like you're
absolutely.
making money straight from Roblox. If
Yep.
you have an obby, that's so good for you to add immersive ads. You know what I mean?
Take
Like
notes, guys.
let me tell you something. I mean, Roblox may not like this. I don't know if they'll watch this one day and like say, I don't know if we should not invite Maru to RDC because Maru's Maru's
Yeah.
supporting you guys. Um, but if you have an obby, right? You have an obby, 100 stages. Every 5 stages, you show an immersive ad, but it's not going to be in the way of the users. It's going to be to the right. So like while they're going forward, it's gonna be to the right, so they're not gonna really care for it. But you know who's gonna care? Roblox is gonna care. They're gonna still pay it, although the players really won't see it. You know what I mean? So it won't affect
Mm.
nothing, but you're making money from Roblox, even though Roblox knows that nobody's really using it. Like it's an odd thing, but like basically you're getting free payment, although your players don't really see the immersive ads. It's like
Wait, what? What do you wait? Do
so
you mean like it's like not in a place where they see it? Because you probably have to have it in a place where
like
you see it.
so like
I don't
they
know the
can
most
see
about this.
they can see it, but um, in an obby, there's 100 stages. Every 5 stages, there is an immersive ad, but
Mm.
and obviously an obby is all about going forward. So if you add a bridge to like the left or the right of the obby, and then you have the portal to the immersive ad, nobody's really gonna turn it. Nobody's really gonna eye it either. You know what I mean? So like you
Yeah.
can add immersive ads on the path of something while players are doing something. So like they're focused on getting through what they're supposed to like go through, but you just have this one thing there that they're not going to pay attention to, so
I
you don't
see.
need to really worry about people leaving your game, although that's the purpose of immersive ads is to have Roblox compensate you for getting your players to join their game. You just have the portal there midway the players are doing something important within your game. You know what I mean? So
That
like
that is smart.
you can't really like they're focusing on your game, not to leave your game. So just like you could just like throw that in, and they won't really like look at it. You know what I
Mm.
mean? There's like better words for it, but like obviously you're gonna focus on something you're going at currently than to switch up midway.
Mm. Yeah. Do
That's
you,
yeah.
I have an interesting question. Do you think we'll add immersive ads into ABR or like in lobbies or anything? Because I haven't thought about that yet.
Thing is that we can possibly add it in like the machine area because there's gonna be like a world where all the machines are, like the machines with the power converter, the fuse machine, the upgrades, etc. Um, I feel like there, but the thing is that with ABRs, I want to have the game not that cash grab. You know what I mean? The game's supposed to be fun. That's what I feel like also makes it stands out because we have unique gameplay. Like I don't want to put players in like the environment they felt for like say months or like even years with these cash grab games. You know what I mean? Like a sort of a new environment. So if I put immersive ads up, I don't want like let's say Spider-Man ad playing while they're playing
Haha.
this unique game. You know what I mean? I want them to like focus on the experience than to just like get caught off guard. But I
Definitely.
don't know. It depends on your game because if you're doing a PvP game, say the lobby could definitely have immersive ads. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Lobby definitely an RPG game. I wouldn't say so because RPGs is more about you getting better in the RPG, like you getting better ships, getting better weapons. It's more distracting, I would say, because RPGs get boring. Like every RPG has like a arc where it goes down and up. It's like a hill. It's like it gets fun, but then there's grinding, and then it gets fun, and then there's grinding. So like
Mm,
you don't really want to distract your players, but it just corely depends on what's your game. Like if you have a tycoon, immersive ads are fine because either way,
yeah.
once they finish the tycoon, they're gonna leave your game anyways. You know what I mean? Tycoons don't really have a lot of retention, I would say. It depends what type of tycoon your game is. So yeah. Um I think there's another question. Ooh. This one is actually like pretty nice. It's how many visits is your goal for ABR?
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's more so a
that's
CCU goal again, probably.
yeah, CCU. For concurrent users, the least I expect, like the least, like I don't really like joke around or anything. Like from the bottom, like if we failed for me is like 4,000 concurrent users, right? But honestly, I can see us averaging at least like from I gotta think about this nicely. I can see like a steady concurrent like over than 10K because I was able to help other games do good, right? But this time it's my game and I'm constructing it from the ground up. You know what I mean? It's like not only am I doing this with like the knowledge I have and I use to help others, but like we're making it fun. So like 10K is like but I feel like we can push 20, 30K, but like obviously
Mm,
the game would like pace down to like a steady number.
yeah. Yeah, I can
But
see some large potential for it. I know that it's definitely an impressive project. It's looking
yeah,
amazing. I'm very happy to be on board, funding it, planning it, helping manage it a bit, and I can see a lot of potential. I don't. I. It's really hard to tell. I know that it is a very unique game. It's becoming very unique. It is somewhat a simulator, but it is not fully a simulator, that to say the least. And it, I would say, yeah, it does have potential to hit those higher player counts, those thousands of CCU, and I'm looking forward to that. It is hard to say, but I agree with Myro. It's going to do very well. It has very good potential for those higher player counts.
yeah,
Nothing's ever guaranteed. However, I think that this is a very good project, and I'm looking forward to showing you guys more. We do have some other questions, a ton of other questions coming in. So keep them coming, guys. Keep the likes coming on the stream because we have no plan to stop in yet. So we're gonna keep going and keep those questions coming. Keep sharing, keep liking, and we'll help more people with their questions and hopefully gain some value. And yeah, so let's see. Do you know how long the stream delay is? I think it's barely anything. I have it at
it's
like
like
ultra low. Maybe that's why it was glitching earlier. I don't know on the
yeah.
last stream, but I think it's fixed now. It's working really well, so I'm glad. But what is your favorite game that you worked on? Myro, do you want to go first? I know you're probably gonna say probably ABR, right?
Who you? Wait, you go first. You go first.
I'll go first. Okay. Well, I would say honestly, Jimmy Games, because Jimmy Games as a group as a whole has made the most Robux and it has created a bunch of opportunities. It's how we're funding ABR. It's how we're funding these other projects behind the scenes, and it's how we're opening up other opportunities. It's how I've learned how simple games make the most. How simple games are the way to go when you start, especially. And even Alvin Blocks talks about how you should make you never make your 50th game until you make your first. Most people, they try and make a complex project the first time, but the key is just starting simple and building up. Even if you're just building like one system in studio, scripting one thing or building one house, that's where you start. And you know that's the thing. So I definitely have learned a lot from Jimmy Games. That's why I would say it's my favorite. And even if the games are goofy, sure, there's some on there that are quite quality. There's the meme outfit shop, right? This is an outfit shop game. Very innovative, right? New take on the outfit shop. I scripted that, and if you take a look at that, um, it's quite interesting, and it just made like passive income just because people would hop in, try and buy some meme outfits, and it just shows how the most random ideas can really do well. So I would say it's hard for me to put a certain like point to a certain game and say that's my favorite. But I would say overall, Jimmy Games as a whole, and also something I'd like to point out about Jimmy Games and why I'm not picking out a specific game is because it's more of a community. So if you look at Jimmy Games, we've done something that no one else has really done on Roblox. And um, it has meme games, it has this goofy edge to it. But what we have done is we've constructed a group that has a brand and it has a figure to it that is notable, and that is Jimmy. Jimmy is my friend, and we work together. And Jimmy, um, he's also a character in the group because, well, as the leader of the group, he can, if we position it around his personality and we have it about Jimmy, we kind of make a really really dedicated group. And this is a point I talk about in scripting secrets because, well, we've built such a dedicated community because of this. It's based off of the influencer angle, kind of. He's basically a celebrity in the group, right? And um, what I'm saying here is that, let me give you an example. If you look at the average studio on Roblox, you started out. Let's say you make a studio, Blocky Game Studio. Just an example. You make a studio called Blocky Game Studio. This game studio, you put games in it, pretty good. But it's similar to everyone else. When you are just a studio, and you are just another studio, Blocky Game Studio, there's nothing unique. And I think what we learned was that if you position your studio around a character, around a person, like Jimmy, for example, you have something that is more powerful. It's similar to YouTubers. YouTubers grow games. YouTubers create brands. Nobody connects with just a studio and a blank brand name or a company. Nobody really empathizes with that. Nobody really cares about that. So I think something that we learned there was, well, you need to have a personality. You need to have a brand. You need to have something that people care about, a figure they care about in the group. And this is where you can have an unfair advantage where you're building a community around this individual. And this could be you, this could be a new account, this could be a friend who leads the group and owns the group, and it's based after. And it's a new take on how to make a Roblox game and a Roblox group and a Roblox following. And that is the significance of Jimmy Games. And that is why I think it as a whole is such a cool project, because it has a mission. It's like he's taking over Roblox. That's really cool. That's a cool mission statement there. It creates such a community that is very unique, and I think that's where it shines. That's why I would say that is my favorite project I've worked on, and it has all these opportunities coming out of it. We're making ABR. ABR probably will take the spot after that because ABR probably will be so huge. But yeah, Myro.
Wow. Um, I mean, I worked on like some fun stuff. I mean, thing is that the process is never really. I mean, it's fun like to see the end result, but like while going through it, obviously it's a challenge. But I mean, honestly, I don't really have the most fun thing, but I feel like ABR is like a huge roller coaster. Like we kept on like changing things, and because of how unique the game is, we had to redo things. And honestly, it's like it's pretty enjoyable because it's like we're watching ourselves improve, and then we're comparing ourselves to other games, and then we're realizing that some front page games actually like in a way they copied us even though we're not released. So it's like we're feeling like really good about it. Mm-mm-mm. But like that and like the game that I got to like 5K CCU like made me feel real good because it happened within 24 hours and one update.
Can you say which
I could let me pull it up.
which game?
Um,
What's the name again?
I'm trying to pulling it up. I forgot the
That was
name.
loud. I think he got closer to his mic.
Yeah. Power Punch Simulator.
Power Punch Simulator is the one that he grew and helped the
It's
dev.
at 5.1 mil visits right now.
5.1 mil. That's good. But you
But
got
you
it to
know what?
5K CCU with your suggestion.
Yeah,
What
within three, it was at 300, and then within an update, it got 5K.
and what specific suggestion do you think that you made that helped it so
Um,
much? Because that might be something that somebody hears in this live stream and
fun
they go
fact,
out and they make a big game based on that. Because
fun fact, I didn't play the game on like computer like on the computer. I literally tested it on mobile and literally told the changes on mobile with just one screenshot.
oh,
With one screenshot, it's actually a funny story. It's it was mainly UI and map, so just visuals, nothing actually heavily gameplay related. But like for example, naming the skills, naming like the punch, like you know what I mean, like naming everything. So it's not like plain and then like spacing out the UI, scaling it, making everything more visible. But like if you check it now, it's actually not. It's like really, it's valid because the game I would say is not like perfect, but like the fact that I got it to like 5K CCU. I mean, obviously I didn't get it to there, but like I contributed to it within this update, which was like crazy. I was like really excited. I was like, there's no way there's no way like I helped get it to that within one update and 24 hours. You know how crazy that is? That's literally 4.7 thousand people. Like they got 4.7 thousand active players more within like 24 hours. I still don't get that though.
Yeah,
But that's like how Roblox is.
that is wild. So you're saying that's from like the mobile changes, making it better on mobile. Mobile is like the
I
biggest platform, right?
I didn't check it on computer. He
Oh,
he was my friend, right? He was my friend. He released the game, so I just played it. I took a screenshot on mobile and just told him the changes, like told him stuff that he should do. I'm not ranked in the group. I'm not I didn't get a payment for it. It's all chill, but
yeah,
it's all it's really it's like really nice
still
because
some
I
valid
was able
experience.
to
Hmm.
I was able to like test my skill on that especially, and then I'm having like what is it called? I was gonna have like a website for me. It's gonna be really nice. I'm gonna have that game and like a few other games because I got his permission to use the game on my website, like
Oh,
as a
sweet.
reference.
Hmm.
So yeah, soon I'm gonna have like commissions for this type of stuff, like game designing and
Awesome.
like improving games. It's gonna be really nice.
That's really cool. Yeah. I'd like to open it up to another question. So I'm going to go ahead and check and see what we got going here. Guys, continue liking the stream. I appreciate the support so far. Yeah, I
Oh,
know Myro has too many skills. Yeah, I agree. I think
wait,
it's
I,
like, he has those connections and kind of that intuition from just like being a tester. I assume like gave you a lot of like just things that people wouldn't really see. You just have a sixth sense for figuring out what to improve in a game now, and I think that's kind of what it is. Because I can tell like you have a bunch of ideas constantly about things, details no one would really notice in games, and that's probably your key skill, I would say, personally.
yeah,
But yeah, so
yeah.
what is?
I have like two other questions. Yeah, what?
Oh, you have a specific question you want to answer?
Mm,
You can
mm,
go ahead.
Yeah, because somebody replied early on, but we were talking really long.
Yeah, we're giving the speeches right now.
Um, Somebody asked like, if you have a successful game, and let's say it makes 1 million Robux, do you suggest to DevX or save it and reinvest?
mm. Uh, I I would say honestly it really depends because either way you could pay developers with it. If you are in a position where it'd be better for you to pay developers with Robux, I would leave that in Robux. If you need money or if you want the money, go ahead and DevX by all means. It really depends on what you're trying to do. If you want to grow a game, if you want to have those funds in Roblox, I would argue that it's more liquid. It's more easy to use your Robux to fund things if you have your Robux still. So I would probably leave that in Robux
Okay. I
personally.
actually have. I think I have a good answer to this. So
Hmm.
when you're say you have 1 million Robux, right? So you have 1 million Robux. Um, I'd say make another game. Like why not?
Yeah.
But you got to think about the size of this next project. You got to think about that because it could cost more, and then what are you gonna do when you run out? Obviously there's investors, but we're focusing on you right now. Um, what you could do is there's always games looking for investors, right? But this is very risky. That's why you just would need to call with a lot of people, right? Because I know the person that invested into Race Clicker, right? I knew him before he actually got popular, and now he's
Hmm.
like super
Hmm.
popular. he's on the Pet Simulator X leaderboards right now. Like he's he's
Everywhere.
living life.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's I think he's somewhere up there. I think he's like 30th or something. Like the amount of stuff he has is crazy. But like yeah, he just put an investment in and he went popular because at the time for my first game, I was actually in a call with him and then like he declined my game, right? He said to come back with it, etc. And then we met up like a year later and then he's on a game that got like literally started a trend, Race Clicker, right?
Yeah.
So it's actually really, really cool.
That is a really good story there. Good lesson. Hmm.
Yeah, wait. So yeah, like you can invest, but right now, obviously you need to like call with a lot of people. But I would say a lot of games are looking for free UGC because that's like the number one advertising method right now on Roblox. I'm not saying like YouTubers or anything like that, but like on Roblox, free UGC. So like, to get like 2,000 stock of UGC, it's like 100,000 Robux, or I think it's like 4,000 stock. But anyways, a lot of games are looking for that, right? A lot of newer games, they don't even get to touch their money because they just released. You know what I mean? If you just release and you have like 2,000 concurrent users, um, and you want to release free UGC, but you don't have the money yet because it's still in your pending Robux, right? Um, the thing is that most of
Keep
those
doing it.
games would actually
Hmm.
contact you for Robux. So then, so like they'd be like, "Oh, can you help us upload UGC and then we'll pay you back once our pending Robux comes through." You know what I mean? That's what a few games actually have done. Like a few people actually have contacted me about investing into their game, but just giving them money for what is it called? Free UGC.
Yeah.
There's a lot you can do with it, but
Hmm.
a lot of it is risky.
You have a good point there with that opportunity. Like there is a big opportunity to blow up your game with free UGC. And I think the key we're getting at here is you need to find somebody who can upload UGC. I know that Roblox is going to be opening that up to like everybody soon. I'm not sure exactly when, isn't at the start of next year. So keep on the lookout for that because that might be an opportunity. Though, of course, maybe the market will become saturated. Maybe everyone's going to be doing that. We'll see by that time. Hopefully, me and Myro are early with ABR, and before that happens, we have for UGC and we have the game out. But yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Um, there's this other question I had written down, but also Gamer Soup resaid. That last question, I don't know if I answered it clear enough. If anything, just ask me a question on like what I said so I can make it more clear. But for this new question by Gamer Sheep, this person asks, "Do you believe it's still worth it to become a developer with the way the platform is headed?"
Oh man,
I
that
think
is a good
I
question.
think this is honestly, I'm honestly more hype going forward with Roblox. One thing I don't like is how Roblox is becoming more retention based because then
Mm.
people are just adding, say, these gift factors, right, to just cheese their retention. They're trying to make it more longer, you know what I mean? Like I think it's much better when it's based off of games that are making money because then it comes down to good games in a way because even though games are like cash grabbing in a way, they're still fun because that's why you're playing it and spending money on it. You know what I mean? There's a difference between it because now people are just AFKing in games,
Huh.
and those games that are like having you AFK, they're not really that fun. You know what I mean? You're not really doing nothing. Um, but that's like the only thing I don't like about Roblox right now. But I sort of like how they're becoming a social media. I know that's a very mixed feeling thing that I said, but
Oh no, I just
I
got
feel
disconnected for being idle. Ooh.
oh, but what I'm saying with that is that once Roblox is the actual social media, say like Instagram, um, I feel like it would be cool that Roblox developers would be able to talk to, say, celebrities, and we would be a
Oh no,
celebrity
I'm
in
in
a
a new
way.
server. Maybe you can
Like,
rejoin me. It's
yeah,
probably
yeah, I'll
full.
rejoin.
Cool.
But I'm saying like, um, at some point, it seems like Roblox is going to have us talk to celebrities. You know what I mean? Because they plan
Mm.
to like expand it to like a social media platform. From what I believe they said in RDC was like like to Instagram. You know how that is, you have like a profile and then like posts, etc.
Yeah.
I feel like that's gonna be nice when you're going to be able to talk to like other celebrities, and then you're a developer with a blue check mark, and then you're also gonna have like celebrities with the check marks, right? I feel like it's gonna be really cool that you're going to be recognized in the world amongst other people in like Hollywood, for example. And even David Bazuki at RDC, he mentions how the goal within the next 5 to 10 years, I believe, was to have $1 billion developer.
Oh wow. Yeah.
And like when I heard that, I was like, I gotta be it.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Myro,
like,
keep going.
yeah, honestly, I don't really care about $1 billion like that though. But like,
Yeah.
I'll do it because like $1 billion is like, what are you gonna do with it? You know what I mean? Like,
I
what are you
don't
gonna
know,
do with
man.
it?
Make a million new games.
No, literally, like you could like buy every front page game. Actually, no, that's cap. Actually, you can buy it. Yeah, you can buy the like the top 7 best games on Roblox with that. Probably like 9. But
Mm.
but yeah, I think I don't know how they're gonna make $1 billion developer because the issue on Roblox is that compared to other platforms, Roblox can't get enough people to buy the game passes and dev products. Because if you put the same amount of people in Fortnite and Roblox, I would say if you have, I don't know, like think about console games is that they would make more money and they can be at the same CCU as Roblox. I don't. That's like it's pretty odd. It's like really really odd. But I feel like because there's like this stigma on Roblox, people prefer to pay more on like say Call of Duty, for example. Like they're down to
Mm.
spend $20 on that than to spend it on Roblox, and I feel like that's why Roblox is missing a lot of money,
I
which they
see.
have to fix that. It's like it's a weird conversation, but like
Hmm.
if you know it, you know it.
So I think
It's like you're more willing to spend money on something outside of
yeah.
Roblox.
I see. So you brought up
So,
two main points about the
yeah,
credibility of Roblox being an issue. I would say to answer his question, overall Roblox is headed in a very good direction, and that
yeah,
Roblox is the place to be, and that Roblox is going to continue to grow, and it's going to continue to be a very good opportunity for you. I think it is a good choice to develop on the platform. However, Myro, you did bring up two very good points. First of all,
yeah. I
that
bring up a lot
the
of
retention
cons.
hacks. Yeah, the retention hacks. Like
Yeah,
people are just like inserting free gifts to try and get you to stay in, and inserting these things that aren't really helping the player experience, but people are just AFKing to get it rather than making the game more engaging as a whole. They add these little hacks, and yeah, they are good, and you probably should add them as a smaller developer. But it is creating an overarching problem over, well, is this actually like a real game, or is this just a bunch of little hacks put in here to make you stay in longer? You know. And then the second point
yeah.
was the what was that last point you made? You were talking about another thing related to that.
Um, I
There
was
was another
talking
that was
about
related to
revenue,
credibility.
like revenue related to like
Oh yeah.
Call of Duty, and for example, like outside of Roblox, and how Roblox doesn't actually make as much money, but I feel like it's based off of stigma because you could have the same amount of players on a Roblox game compared to like Call of Duty, but then you end up seeing that more people would spend the money on Call of Duty. So like
Hmm.
obviously it's Call of Duty, but like there's something off with the way that Roblox, I mean, that you as a developer is making money off of your game that could be doing just as well as another game. Because say Call of Duty is making like $1 billion a year. There's some Roblox games that actually have more active users, right? Brookhaven has 500,000. I believe Call of Duty has like um I don't know, but I know on one of the platforms it had 70,000 users, right? And yet that one platform that Call of Duty's on is making more than a game on Roblox with like 200,000 users. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. That so that it's 2 points about the credibility. Those kind of hacks, and then the overall just people don't take it seriously. It's more seen as a kids game still, and that hinders the monetization aspect you're saying, and that
Yeah.
the little hacks and the little things that just make people not take Roblox as seriously contribute to that issue. Man, I just had a thought, like, if a Roblox staff happens to be watching this, they're probably taking notes. How do we improve Roblox? Yeah.
No, like if it was Roblox staff, they definitely know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Because what I said,
major
you
issue.
actually have to look at the statistics, like on how it's being made, like the money's being made and like sent out. It's like pretty odd. Um, any other questions?
Yeah, we got some other people commenting on what we're talking about here. I think this very agreed upon that Roblox has some issues, but I think it is overall in a good direction. But it has these issues with, and yeah. So let's see what people are saying. So whoa, I'm
Um,
spinning the camera
I
around.
have I
I'm
have,
trying to.
I have a question from somebody.
Oh, okay.
A question.
Yeah, go ahead and answer that one.
How to make successful Roblox games without spending a lot of money.
Mm, yeah. What I'm talking about would help them, like with the video, why most Roblox devs quit. But yeah,
Okay,
good start there.
so a lot of money, right? How successful games? Wait, how, how to make successful Roblox games without spending a lot of money? I mean, a best way to start about barely spending any money. A game you can make right now and release this weekend is an obby, right? Obviously, the thing about obbies is that there's so much of them. You need to make a unique one. And how do you make a unique one? Maybe add a unique movement system, right? Majority of the obbies are just plain walking or like walking with a speed boost. And then I have a friend, right? Samuel Agent. His obby has 50,000 concurrent users. I think you know it. It's like obby, but you're on a bicycle. Anybody
Oh
here
wow.
played that before? Well,
Mm,
if you have played that before, you can see it's like a unique spin-off to like all the other obby games, and that's
mm,
why it's being successful, right? So that shows you that obbies have a lot in them still, even after years. Even on Fortnite, for example, and Minecraft, they have obbies that are having like thousands of concurrent users. I mean, you think about it, like right now, you can make an obby if you want to. You have everything you need. You don't even know how to script. Like you don't even need to know how to script to make an obby. That's how easy an obby is. Because there's literally like systems in the toolbox, or even maybe
huh.
one day, if Smarty hasn't, he can make like a little obby toolkit. You know what I mean? That's not that
Yeah,
complicated, I would say.
true. I could make
It's
some
like
sort of resource like that.
it's the easiest game you can make right now, I would say. And then obviously you need to monetize it. As for UI for your obby, it doesn't need to be complicated. Um, Typically you guys talk about cash grab games. The cash grab games don't even actually have good UI. It's just like nicely organized. So
Mm,
that's
yeah.
exactly what you would need. And then as I said for obbies, don't make it like everything else. Just add different movement. Um, I would say Mr. Beast recently actually released a video on like lasers, so maybe you can make a laser obby because on Fortnite somebody just made that and they have 20,000 concurrent users.
Take that idea.
Just
Take that idea,
yeah,
guys. Yeah. Good point. Yeah.
all yeah,
I would agree. I think what you're saying about obbies, because I've said this in multiple videos in the past. I haven't said it recently, but like obbies, yeah, obbies are like the easiest type of game you can make, pretty much. And this ties back to what I've been talking about a lot um, with the way to make a simple game, the way to make a unique project, and keep it small and not make something too big when you start. This is like the main problem with new developers, and it's why I titled that video recently, Why Most Roblox Devs Quit. It's a pretty extreme thing to say, but it's kind of true because a lot of devs, they start out and they try and make the biggest game ever, and that's not the way to really go about it, especially if your goals are involving like money or players in any regard, right? You're going to have the best success with just starting simple, expanding out later, using those funds like we're doing now, and like I've done, to create new games, to create better projects later. And what you do, you make, well, you make a simple game and you make an MVP. What's an MVP? Well, an MVP is your minimum viable product. This is the minimum bare bones, absolute, just minimum thing you can make that is playable and fun and would work as a good game. And this is what we did in Jimmy Games. This is what you can see across Roblox as a whole. For example, Jailbreak did this. They launched Simple Bank, Simple Jail, Simple Few Cars when they first launched in 2017. I remember that. And now they have so many different things, but they've expanded over time. And they started with that MVP, minimum viable product. And with what Myro was talking about the unique aspects and having your obby unique, that goes for everything. If you make a game that is if you make your MVP and you make your game, and even if it's just even if it's an FPS, you want a unique selling point, USP. And when you have unique selling points that you market on, and then you have as the core things that set your game apart, you can begin to get players and be unique. Now, of course, you're building off that genre, for example, the obby that Myra was talking about, and then you're adding on those USPs, those unique selling points, such as obby on a bike. Well, their unique selling point is that you are on a bike in your obby. That's their core USP, and that's what set their game apart. And you can replicate this, and you can see this across Roblox. And overall, like starting with that MVP, adding those USPs to it, and then being able to pivot and test. So, what does that mean? Well, testing, you test out the game with friends, you test out the game in whatever way you can right now, and you go ahead and you just test it with people. What do they think? Get their feedback. And a lot of the time, like what you thought the game would be like in your head doesn't always match out to how people think when they're playing the game, how the player is going to behave when they play the game, what they're going to think. Now, what we do is we test and we pivot based on their feedback and how the game's doing. So we pivot. What does that mean? Well, that's kind of like changing on a moment's notice, tweaking your direction slightly to fit what the market wants, to fit what your player wants. And when you can do this process of creating an MVP with those USPs in mind, then testing it out and then pivoting as you get feedback, well, that's like the framework that I'm trying to tell you guys to get at, because that's what I've done. That's what I've seen done across Roblox. This is what I know is like, it's shown that it's a very good way to launch games. And you can watch that video, Why Most Roblox Devs Quit, and also the other recent one, which is called Don't Make a Roblox Game Without Watching This First. Those are like full guides on this type of strategy. And it's based on my experience. It's based on just seeing things across Roblox. And yeah, so that really matches up with what Myro's saying. And yeah, where did Myro go now? He reset character. He's still on the call?
Yeah. Somebody was
Awesome.
asking me about
Awesome.
stuff I've worked on, so like I wanted to repeat it, but like um personally the biggest thing that was for me was Power Punch Simulator, because he was just asking, and the game went from like 300 active players to 5,000 active players within an update that came with quality of life changes that I supplied. You know what I mean? So like to me,
Yeah.
that's the most valuable like game like I've worked with yet. Like not most valuable, but like based on like everything I've worked with, to me that's like my favorite because of the impact I was able to bring. Like it like made me trust myself more because I never doubt myself anyways. But like now I know that I'm like it sounds odd, but like just always try to like encourage yourself. You know what I mean? Like always like motivate yourself. Sometimes people would think something else of you or anything, but just like I feel like at the end you're the developer here. You know what I mean? Um, Being a developer is like you start off solo. You don't really walk with anybody. See, like
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure everybody at this table right now, like currently nobody here is with another person, right? We're all just here. Like I'm with Smarty because we were on our own paths and then we came across each other. You know what I mean? It's more like a solo based thing and then everything just happens. Um
That's a really good
uh,
point. Yeah. And that goes for a lot of things in life. Like, just, you know, on your own in a lot of ways, and you have to believe in yourself. And that kind of does tie back to that video I made recently on mindset. Like that's so insane. If you watch that video, you can learn how to build like a mindset that is unbreakable. Very important stuff. And it's not like, oh, have a good mindset, believe in yourself. No, it's much more um, important and much more detailed than you would think. So I would check that out if you want to learn more about that. But yeah, I agree, Myro.
Also, if
Where are you in the game? I'm just trying to find you. Like, let's
I'm
move the podcast. Honestly, let's move it in this room over here. That'd be kind of
I'm
interesting.
Billy. I'm behind you.
Oh, you are? Oh, you're in a different outfit. You're on that golden outfit.
Yeah,
Ah, blingy.
yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
there are no seats on this. My bad.
Let's act like it's making us sit down. Maybe this.
There we
Oh
go.
my, that's
Nice, comfy.
that's
Okay.
he's standing up over there.
This is funny. I don't know why. You never see Roblox characters with in beanbag chairs just chilling like this.
Yeah.
Rare sight. All right. What is the newest advice? Do you
Well,
think
that's
creativity is going to become something more than what it is on Roblox currently from Epics?
from. Oh, wait, what? Where's that?
That's a recent chat. Do you think do you think creativity is going to become more than what it is on Roblox right now?
I don't know what he means by that entirely.
I think he's saying is the platform going to continue to get more repetitive or is it going to continue to get more creative? Probably
I think
depends on
it's gonna be
developers.
creative.
Yeah.
It's always gonna be creative because the way that Roblox markets itself is for like kids, for example. I know it sounds like what everybody else is saying. It's not bad. It's basically teaching kids a lot of things, right? It's encouraging kids from a young age, especially to like it might sound odd, but like pick up work habits or you know what, like do what they like, make their own game, not like for money or anything. I'm just saying just for fun, like try it out. And
Absolutely.
because there's the younger audience, we can constantly follow trends and make more goofy ideas that makes Roblox Roblox. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if say we cut off all the younger people, right? Say say I turn like I'm like 22 years old, and then Smarty's up there with me, and then we're like the last people, right? And Roblox is now for like only 20-year-old plus, right? For
Hmm.
developers, have
That's
to
an
be like over
interesting
20 years old.
outlook.
We're gonna be sort of like dry if you think about it. We're gonna make cool ideas that are cool to us. You know what I mean? Like maybe we'll be into shooting games, but we'll make like a cool, fun shooting game. But we're gonna miss out modern ideas, what the younger generation is actually like into currently.
Yeah. That
Like
does
Skibbity Toilet, for
mhm.
example. That's an example. Like who would
Yeah.
think about that? Yeah, like
That does bring up a good point about staying with what the current a younger generation wants from Roblox games. And as you get older as a developer like me and Myro, it's going to be harder to connect with that audience and be able to match that. But you have to, I guess, you have to work hard to ensure that you stay ahead of the curve with that, and like the skibbity toilet or whatever.
the the thing is that I would like for me, I already planned it. I know it might sound like messed up, I don't know, but like I would definitely like hire a younger developer as the time goes on, like
Mm,
sign them under like the team, to help produce ideas
mm,
because I feel like that's the way to go, and I feel like other companies, for example, like big games, because I noticed as I got more of a developer, like sometimes I feel like I think less freely and I control my thoughts more. You know what I mean? Because I'm always over considering everything. Because I'm trying to make the loop perfect. For example, in ABR, um, there's like treasure, there's also like mobs that you fight, and because there's like three different things you can fight, there's like a loop that we have to constantly set spinning. You know what I mean? We don't really want like it's bad for players if players can like get outside of the loop and then what are they gonna do outside of the loop? You know what I mean? There's gonna have to be a way for them to go back into the loop. So like Anyways, I'm just basically saying that you need to stay in touch with everything that's new, and like that's how I would do it. For example, is just hire somebody more younger.
Absolutely, yeah. And talking to players who are in the games,
Yeah, no, I'll
talking to
always
people, you can
be.
gain a lot of ideas.
You can talk to people and gain ideas, but the thing is that it's about the experience living in the moment.
Yeah.
That's what separates it. There's kids that wake up every day and then they just watch YouTube or play Roblox games or watch TikTok all day. They're gonna stay on top of the trends. That's why you need to like you just need to like honestly find somebody and like talk to them about trends, etc. But obviously we're all young here, so like we're on top of the trends. But just like in
Oh
the
yeah.
future, as the question was asking, in the future, that's something that we would have to look into. Is basically like communicating more with like the people of this generation that are playing the video games heavily, because our friends right now in like real life, they're gonna get real jobs. You know what I mean? Like not real jobs, but they're gonna be like they're not gonna be always active. They're probably gonna be working like 7 hour jobs, like every day, 7 hours. Um, you know what I mean? Like they're gonna be busy. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm getting honestly tired right now.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're just talking about like just staying in connection with the player base, staying with the trends. You know, one
Yeah.
good point about that is what just like opening up. I don't like to watch TikTok because it just saps all of your attention and all of your focus. So I don't watch TikTok. But if you open up TikTok just to see like what's trending right now, what game ideas can I get from this? You could just scroll through TikTok, find some trends, and probably get some good ideas. I'm not saying to go like watch it
Yeah.
for a long time because I think TikTok's just wasted time. But like going on there and finding trends is probably a really good method too. You know?
You know what I honestly hate TikTok because people are learning to like look at two things at once. You know what I mean? I think that's terrible for development.
Yeah,
Terrible because um in the future I feel like retention spans are gonna get much shorter. Like much shorter. Because already on TikTok, people cannot watch something, so how are they gonna be able to play something?
yeah,
You know what I mean? Because they're gonna be confused. If they're already confused from watching two things at a time and they're getting trained to do it, like, oh, I don't know. It's actually bizarre. Mm-mm-mm.
hmm, yeah.
Advice for niche specific games. Working on a game that only has one competition. It averages a couple hundred players at a time. It doesn't tend to receive updates. Is a pro is a project niche specific worth? Um every game, everything you make is within a niche. Just letting you know that. So
That is
like
true.
you can't really say like um a project niche specific. Everything is a niche. A niche is basically like a category. So basically for ABR, we have one game alike to us. Literally one game. So we're basically in the same footsteps as you. And because our competition's outdated and they have thousands of concurrent users and they didn't get an update for like over a year, but they're still doing very well, where we took that on to make a better game than them and like definitely like smash that game out of here. Um, and then now since we know that it hasn't been updated for a while and we can do it better ourselves even, we know the game will definitely do good, but I mean, we're an example of what you're doing basically. Something that has one competitor, um, something that the competitor doesn't even update much, but yet it's still very nicely active. You know what I mean? So like if we're doing it, I would say you should do it too, I guess, because me and Smarty wouldn't be wasting time on like something that wouldn't be worth our hours almost every day.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mm.
Guys, this has been a great stream. I don't know. I don't think we're gonna end anytime soon, but like I just want to let you know, it's been a great stream. Thanks for tuning in so far. Just make sure to like, make sure to share, make sure to keep asking questions. Don't spam like Sorry, YGGs. Please stop spamming. Thank you. We'll get to your question soon enough. But yeah, just keep liking, keep giving those great questions, and we'll keep answering. And yeah, so yeah, no worries, YGGs. We're gonna keep on answering these questions. So yeah, drop a like so more people can find the stream. Go ahead and share it. Would greatly appreciate it. I'm sure they would too when they find the stream and get their question answered or learn something else from. Yeah. So from what we're talking about. So yeah. Let's see what the next thing is here. So how long do you think a game like Pet Simulator X took to fully develop before it was launched? That's a good question. I mean, I think we can kind of speak on that because ABR, it has a lot of similarities.
Thing
Not
about
completely, but
ABR,
it does.
okay, let me tell you about ABR. ABR, for a good like 2 months and a half, there was a lot of slacking going on. Obviously, if you're a big company like Big Games, they're making Pet Simulator X, right? If you're talking about Pet Simulator X in specific, Pet Simulator 1 and Pet Simulator 2 were successful. You know what I mean? So they already had their like they already have their stuff that they know they want to bring over. And they're like their company means actual business. You know what I mean? They already made money. They see the money involved. At this point, they basically are a serious company because right now we're just developing and then me and Smarty like we're not at that company level yet. You know what I mean? Me and Smarty are making stuff like independent. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
just like you guys, we're making it independent, but we're more advanced independent. But being like a company level would mean like there is no time to waste. You got to get on work all the time. They're getting paid like real salaries. You got to keep that in mind. So like to them to make a game, it should take like 3 months. You see what I mean?
True.
There's
Yeah.
a huge difference. Huge difference. To
Yeah.
them, this is life. Um, we have school. We're not making like that large sum yet. We're making a good amount, but like, we're not up there. We're not company level yet. Like,
True.
we're
Yeah.
not like all the way up there. So
Yeah.
for
And
them, it's gonna take like 3 months.
a lot of people want to a lot of devs like us and anyone watching. A lot of devs want to they compare themselves to these people who have massive companies when they're starting out. I don't think that's the right way to go about it. I think that comparing yourself to other solo devs, comparing yourself to where you were yesterday, is a much better way to look at development. And comparing yourself to these large companies, like comparing yourself to easy.gg who made Bed Wars, or comparing yourself
Yeah,
to Adopt Me developers. It just isn't really a fair comparison. And if you look at it that way and you see that you are just one person making games, and there's a ton of potential for small solo games, or even large solo games, but small solo games or small teams with your friends or whatever. There's huge potential out there for this. Don't necessarily think that you need to be up there on the next to Adopt Me and Brookhaven. You can one day, if that's your goal. You can work towards that, being on a team or somehow leading a team and getting to the front page. But right now, where you're at, there is huge potential. And I know this because, well, Jimmy Games, very small, very small, project size, right? But it has reached hundreds of concurrent players. It has kept a consistent community, and we've gained a lot of earnings from it, just from that small game and just from that small concurrent user count in there in that group. So just keep that in mind. Like, as a small developer, don't necessarily be comparing yourself to the larger developers. Look at where you were yesterday. Look at your other independent developers you can work with potentially, and make what you can. And even on that smaller scale, before you reach the tens of thousands of users, you can be making a ton. You can be making games that a lot of people play, and it's awesome. So just keep that in mind.
yeah. But just to like fully answer the question, a game for like those larger companies to make would take like 3 months, right? But obviously for us, we can expect like double to triple the amount. You know what I mean? Typically, if you're making a game and you're like independent, it depends the type. Obviously, if it's an hobby, you can make it would like next week. If it's a like a unique hobby, then it makes sense if you took like a month and a half. but obviously it depends the length of it. For simulators on average take like 5+ months, right?
Depends. Yeah, depends.
Yeah, it depends what
You could
type
make
of
one shorter.
simulator, right?
Hmm.
It depends what type of simulator. See, like Anime Break Race, which is ABR, since I see in some of you ask what does ABR stand for.
Oh yeah.
That game, because of how unique it is, right? I know we keep saying unique, etc., but you'll see, there is like only one game alike to it, and because of how outdated it is, we basically have to make our own references. You know how like these other simulator games they reference off of each other? We basically don't really have a reference. We have to like create the references for ourselves. So that's what even makes it more unique on top of its unique gameplay. You know what I mean? So that's what kind of throws delays at us, but it's something that we constantly like don't give up on and keep working forward with. So
Absolutely. How do I have
yeah,
40 viewers when I only have 50K subs? Well, it is late at night right now, to be fair. But
you
yeah.
know, it's like it's 1:46 a.m.
Yeah, in Eastern Standard Time, bro, Myro is staying up late. But yeah.
Yes, bro. Bro,
Uh
I
you can't watch? What's the issue? What's the issue, bro?
there's lag. Yeah, there's lag. There's lag.
Is there
My
lag? What kind
stream,
of lag? Is the mic glitching?
no, it's like lagging like crazy.
Is it now?
It was for
Uh
me to like, while
I wonder what's causing
I,
that. What type of lag is happening? Stream
Milo
buffer.
talking too much. Milo talking too much. I just violated myself.
Oh man. Okay, let me see if there's something I can change. Probably not. Well,
Oh
it's all right.
no.
Uh, do we think that AI is going to take over the majority of Roblox development anytime soon? Well, I don't think that AI is really. As a developer, you shouldn't really be worried about that. You should be worried about using AI to the maximum ability that you can. And I know a lot of people on, like, I've talked to people on Twitter about this. You know, a lot of people will say, well, AI is bad and it's making artists lose all their jobs and whatnot. Well, actually, it's not that AI is bad. It's just that you aren't using it correctly. So you need to use AI to the maximum ability and leverage it to the maximum ability so that you can make better projects, so that you can make better stuff. And I'm not saying to give up your creative reign, not at all. I'm actually saying to free up those tasks that AI can do, those smaller tasks, and focus on the big picture of your game and your project. And when you do this, you're using AI to its fullest potential. You're using AI in a way where you aren't going to be swept away by the tides of AI. You're using it to save time and you're fulfilling that bigger creative vision. And that's how I see AI. I don't see it completely taking over everything, especially not right now. And, and especially as a dev, you aren't going to see that, you know, um, taking over like your job if you are using it properly, if you're staying ahead of the curve, if you are keeping up on those AI updates. Like Roblox just dropped an AI chat assistant. It's all right, and you probably should try that out. Like it has some good potential. So I would say that yeah, I don't think the AI is really a worry, especially if you leverage it correctly. I try to leverage AI in everything that I do in some way, and it speeds me up in the small tasks that you don't need to worry about. I don't know, Myro, do you have any ideas on AI?
Bro, I'm
Uh,
practically sleeping.
bro, bro, if you gotta get off, don't worry about it. If you gotta get off,
No, no, it's fine, it's fine. I
I don't,
literally got like tears in my eyes, bro.
bro. Oh, too late. I
I
guess it's
mean,
for a good cause though. Helping
yeah,
all the developers deep in
yeah.
the night. But how to learn to script in one day. Well, YouTube said that. Well, to learn to script in one day is really, really difficult. You can learn like the basic. Drink coffee. Yeah, that's some good. I don't know if you're talking to Myro or if you're talking to this person about learning scripting in one day. Yeah, drink coffee. No, but
Honestly,
yeah, that will help you maybe.
I'm not trying to get addicted to it though. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie,
Don't
because
drink
that's not.
coffee, Myro.
That's not
I'm not talking
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
about. He's
That's
talking
what I'm
about
saying.
Myro, but
Because I
5
don't
hour
think that's
energy.
honestly good for you. Like, thing
No,
is
I don't
that the
think
only
that's good.
reason I'm tired is because I went to school today. and
Yeah. Well, it's also 1 a.m.
um
for you, so.
yeah, no,
But
I had I had like a game in gym, right? You know one of those try hard gym games that you have in school, guys. It was we have like an imaginary league. Not like obviously not an official league, but like, like when you try hard in school sports, basically that.
yeah,
If nobody can relate, then sorry, bro. Host, yo, I would love that as a developer. You know how much you can do? I have this one of my old animators, right? One of my animator guys,
totally,
he's
Andre. Don't
homeschooled.
make me mute you.
What?
Don't make me mute you.
But this animator I know, right? He's homeschooled and he learned how to animate while being homeschooled, and like he's so good. He's actually an animator for this one basketball game called Basketball Legends. Has like 11,000 right now. I mean, I didn't check right now, but last time I checked, I had 11,000. Basketball Legends. Basketball. I actually know the owners of that game too.
Ha.
Yeah,
Basketball Legends.
yeah.
I
4.5K
do
right
need
now.
mods.
It's morning. 5.5, 4.5K, and it's morning.
Hmm.
Because anyways, in America, we play basketball more than like Europe, for example. So it makes sense if you think about it. Because a game like basketball, you can't really AFK. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like a game like this is more based off of actual people playing than AFK. So that's why a sports game, for example, would vary a lot in concurrent.
That's interesting to note. How much do you think? How much of Roblox do you think is like just a bunch of AFK people? Like, what percentage of it could be? Do you think that when Blox Fruits was hitting 1.7 million, that one weekend recently, do you think that was AFK? I haven't really played Blox Fruits much.
No, that's
No.
definitely not. They've been hyping it for so long, bro.
Yeah. I'm just
So
wondering how much of Roblox is
probably
AFK.
the thing about Blox Fruits isn't really like heavy AFK based. I mean,
Oh,
correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but like you don't really catch a lot of people AFK in the game. They literally ban people for like for what is it called? The if you like share your account to get better, because they banned the YouTuber and like a few others because they were paying people to grind. Like that's crazy. I don't think I would do that. Like to legit like ban somebody because they paid somebody to help them in a game. That's that's wild. That's all right though. You there, Smarty?
yeah, I'm here. We do have a question on uh the dude from earlier. Um, A3CLX said, Smarty, you haven't answered my question, but are there any advice to start as a new developer to make a successful game like starting fresh? Well, again, back to what I said earlier about Jimmy Games and what I've learned there and what we're doing now with the projects behind the scenes, such as Anime Break Race, which we've been talking about through this live stream a lot. Making a successful game from what I've seen is, just starting simple and just testing, being just have believing that you can do it, testing, and just make that simple game, make that MVP, minimum viable product, and then just test, test, and then pivot. Pivoting is just tweaking based on what you learn from testing the game. So if you test the game out and players don't like the UI, well, now you pivot and you change the UI. Maybe your original vision was to have the UI a certain way, but when you test it out, the players might not agree. And what's important is how the players enjoy your game, not necessarily your developer opinion. So, um, testing and pivoting is very key in making a successful game. And the thing is, the people who become successful, they just keep on making games. They keep on testing and pivoting and aligning towards what players want, making the best experience possible. And that is like really the secret. And then making your game stand out with those unique USPs. Again, like I talked about this like earlier in this live stream, you might want to check it out later. But also the videos recently on why most Roblox devs quit, and also the video "Don't make a Roblox game without watching this first. Those are two very good games that if you very good videos that if you apply those, I believe you're going to see much better success. Now, Myro probably has some insights on this as well, so I'll let him take it away on advice on
Um,
how to start fresh and make a successful game. Overall, I'm saying just make that simple game, make that MVP. But yeah, you probably have some insights as well.
for
I
a
think
simple
Myro fell
game,
asleep, Flame Dev said. I don't think
no,
so. Myro's still here going strong. Come on.
yeah. So for a simple game, I mean, I mean, there, it depends on your genre, right? Because you can make a simple game, but like, how simple is it going to be? Because there's level to it, right?
Yeah,
Depending on the genre. If it's a simple RPG game, you need a lot more things than a simple obby or like a simple simulator. If you're doing a simple simulator, for example, a clicker game, making something simple yet successful is mainly around the game design. How is look, think about it.
absolutely.
Everybody in here or a few other people,
Cut
everybody
the
that's
arrow.
making games right now, what they're doing is they're trying to make like a get rich quick game, right? Obviously, they want their money.
Yeah.
But the
Mm.
thing is that what is going to separate your simple obby from the other person's simple obby? What
Guys,
is
stop spamming. Thanks.
your simple simulator gonna differentiate like yourself from like the 50 other simple simulators? If you check simulators, there's about like I'd say three okay simulators that release every day, but they have like 10 concurrent users. Because some people actually want me to like advertise their simulators. They're not bad, but like it's the visuals that look bad, etc. But I'm just saying, like, make yours stand out animation wise. And then when it comes to the loop, because the loop is what keeps players in, what just keeps players in general.
Absolutely. Yeah. I have a
Yeah.
video on gameplay loops and how they work, and that's a very good video to check out.
Oh, cool.
I'm just gonna post that in chat real quick because anyone
Uh,
here who's into starting game design and making your game fun, this is a very key concept that Myro is talking about right here. Making your gameplay loop because that's what gameplay is. Repeating a loop
okay.
that's very fun and addicting. It might change throughout, but here's that video.
Yeah. Here's another good idea, right? Look at Please Donate, a simple game, literally simple. Um, Simple custom idea. When I say custom, I mean it's an idea that nobody would really think of. And then you also have slap battles, a PvP game, but it's also very custom because it's just like who would think of you getting different like hands to slap people with? You know what I mean? And look how big that game is.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Simple, simple yet crazy.
Exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, and like the that game started small too. I remember, and then it blew up. Like not even that complex of a game, not even that crazy. Like you don't have to have the next jailbreak to
Also,
get big. Definitely not.
yeah,
Simple
let me
games
say
for the win.
something. Did you know that their team wasn't that popular as you like look at it right now? You're going to see people from Block Zone and other huge companies that are working with slab battles, right? And the reason to that is that you can always add developers to your team. You know what I mean? Don't like limit yourself because what they did is they made the game, even though the game like got, let's say, it went through a lot of exploits, etc. Um, what happened was because the game was successful, although they took the risk of releasing like a buggy game, for example, um, they were able to now pull in developers that worked on other front page games to now work with them. So like for example, let's say your game, you worked by yourself. Obviously there's a few bugs. You release and people like it. It gets to 2,000 concurrent users. Now you can actually have a good shot at shooting a message towards a large developer, and that large developer now could possibly work with you and help you rescript your game. Well, obviously in a way so it doesn't mess up the players at all. So basically you have a new game while the game is still running. It's like you can improve the game as you go. You know what I mean? You don't need to perfect it from the start. especially. But
Absolutely, yeah. Testing
like,
and pivoting.
yeah, teams
That's the
always add
key.
on. That's something. Teams always add on. Like, for example, big games. Did you know Pet Simulator X had its peak after they hired Adam? Fun fact, they didn't need to hire him. They were doing really good. Pet Simulator X, and then they got pushed. They literally pushed when they got Adam as their game manager. Interesting, right? They just hired one person that did all the rest of the big changes, and look how far it brought them.
Yeah.
You can always hire more people, especially for the big roles. You can always hire more people because even slab battles they got a scripter. They hired a scripter from another big company, and that scripter was already a popular scripter. And usually that's risky to have your game like rescripted slightly. You know what I mean? Because you
Hmm.
could lose everything player related, but they pulled it off, and now the game's chilling. Mm.
Absolutely, yeah.
Is there any more questions? Like,
Oh, I think there are. There's one dude who keeps asking. Dudes asked, how can someone come up with a game idea? I have some videos on this. I have one on using ChatGPT. There's a bunch of different ways to get game ideas, but the in this one video I have, you should definitely check it out. But I explain a way where you make something called a mind map. So you can make this on paper. I also showed you can make this in a website like Lucid Spark, which is a good one for making mind maps. And basically, what you do is you create boxes with different ideas or different topics, and then you draw a line and you branch off into something related or something slightly related to that, something like that idea, and you make more and more ideas through a web. And what's interesting is this is how your brain is set up, right? When you have neurons, they're all connected, boom, 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 boom. It's the
mhm,
same exact thing, and this is why a mind map works so well for making ideas for anything, not just Roblox game ideas, for anything. I do this for YouTube video ideas. It's helped me so much. I've generated some like huge ideas for videos doing this exact thing. And mind mapping, it's just connecting the dots, drawing boxes, making those ideas. And who knows, you might stumble across an awesome idea because that's how your brain works. It makes random connections and you reflect that on your paper or your lucid spark diagram or whatever you use, bro. That is where you get those ideas. Mind mapping.
also, I want to say something. Like, see, the thing is that I'm not too creative myself when it comes to making the game ideas, right? I can be super creative with the game design, but I can be creative with the ideas, but the main area where I get my ideas from is because of my knowledge of like reading statistics on like all these games. I know what works and what doesn't work. So if I want to make a game, say like a Blade Ball spin-off, I know what can I substitute swords for example with. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I always know how would I substitute something and then how would I make it looped around. Um Here's a game idea I had. I was thinking about doing this. I had a person that like I had an investor that was down to do this, but like honestly right now I've other things to focus on. So I'm just gonna throw this idea out, right? If you guys want to make it. So for example, this Blade Ball spin-off, right? My idea was let me give you like my thought process. There's Blade Ball. Blade Ball is really fun. After like playing it myself, inviting friends, I realized that the reason why it's so successful is because of the intensity. And then you look at a few other games, there's a like you feel better during the intensity moments. You know what I mean? You want more of it. Like Fortnite right now, everybody's playing it. And if you play it too right now, you're gonna realize that you actually barely get any heals the whole game. Barely any. And people are loving it. People are loving like how rewarding it is to just find one heal. You know what I mean? Every bit of like intensity, I feel like it just helps. But the idea I was talking about was like, what can you substitute swords with, and it's still just as popular? Guns, right? Look at Murder Mystery 2, right? There's Murder Mystery 2, and Murder Mystery 2 is heavily gun related. So if Blade Ball was able to do swords and Murder Mystery 2 was able to do guns, why can't you do guns? So then just throw in guns, right? Then add skins to it And then how would guns work, right? Say those murder mystery copy games are based off of you shooting other people. So you could just keep that idea of shooting other people, but now Blade Ball has blocking. So realistically, in movies and some other games, or let's say PvP games don't really have blocking. Some do, but they have parries, which are like rolls or like dodges. So now instead of blocking, you can add rolling. So now your game mechanics are shooting and rolling. You see where I got that from? Because they're super familiar. They're like within the same world, but they're not really connected as much. So now you have a blade ball game, but it's just like shooting and rolling. Um, and then you can add abilities to that, and then that's really it. And then like you eliminate people, the circle can get smaller, the bullets can go faster. That you automatically have an idea already. But I legit like planned this whole idea out. I have a whole Trello for it, but like I'm not doing it. So yeah. Dun, dun, dun.
That's
Also,
interesting.
yeah. Also, it's fine if you guys plan out a game and don't do it. I have
Definitely.
currently I have 20 like solid game ideas because all the time I have an idea, I write it down. I thought it was a funny thing, or like it may look goofy, or like thing is like, who cares? It's your idea. Just write it down. I have like 20 ideas. They're all good. They all can make a front page because if something's bad, I'm not gonna write it. Because I'm like, I really criticize a lot of things because I honestly want to aim for like perfection. So like, I pretty much know if something's good or something's really bad. So like, that's just really it. I don't know. Like,
Absolutely.
what do you think about what I said about the whole blade ball thing?
Um, so you were talking about like kind of bouncing off that idea, right?
Yeah, like I told you about how we would get the idea of guns and rolling, shooting and rolling. Just like how in
Yeah.
swords it's hitting and deflecting. Basically the opposite of that, but in gun like in a world of guns, you dodge and shoot. You know, like the Wild West games, they just shoot and
Yeah.
dodge.
That is a good idea, I think. That would work well, like just blade ball with guns instead. I haven't really played much blade ball, but that does sound like a good idea just off the bat, just hearing it. So I know that would work. Someone should take that idea. You guys take that idea and let me know if you make it. Yeah. So overall, good stream, guys. We're gonna keep it going for a while. So just keep it coming with the questions, and please don't spam. If you spam, I'm less likely to answer. Just so you know. But yeah. So we have a new question. Also, have any advice for the devs who have a simple and interesting game idea and end up giving up because they can't implement the idea? For example, they have no building and scripting skills. That's a very good question. What I would say to that is actually what I used to talk about a while ago, which is make rather than making entire games, if you're at that point where you're still learning like that, make systems, make simple builds rather than entire games. And that can be before you make simple games. Make those simple systems. Even just copy things from other games, try and remake it in your own way. The simplest little aspects, you can make these, remake them, and it's super good practice. Another thing you can do, you can mess with free models and you can edit the code and you can edit the builds and you can learn a lot doing this and see how they're constructed. And this is what a lot of large developers you'll notice. They'll talk about the way that they learn and they're like, oh yeah, I just messed around with free models. It's like, what? Free models? Everyone has free models. It's like, so anybody can start and everyone starts from these humble beginnings. And if you can just start even simpler if you're having trouble with that simple game and start on those small little projects, not even a full game, just start on something like that. And that's what I did. I might not have made um, when I started scripting, I might not have made like an entire game right away, but I started out with just systems and that really helped just learning scripting. And I wasn't necessarily trying to make entire games when I was just a complete noob. But when you put those systems together that you make, well, you're going to get to the point where you are going to be like, oh, wait, I can actually make a whole game now. What? So it's really about that. Just like start even simpler, chunk down in what you're doing, break it down into smaller things, and overall, when you can do that, that is a way to start. Just there's no sense in giving up really ever if you have a goal, because you can just break it down. If you're having trouble hitting that goal, break down whatever task you're doing, even if it's on your to-do list. Break down that task into more parts. See how you can make it simpler for yourself and just go at it with what you can. Make some sort of momentum. Do something. Always like taking action is always better than not taking action, no matter what it is. Like today, I turned this stream on. Didn't know exactly what if I was going to do it, but I just did it, right? And it helped because look how this has turned out. This is an amazing stream. It's helping a lot of you guys right now with development, and it's turning out very well. So it's an example of just taking action, and that's what I would say to that. Just like make those smaller things, make even simpler things, and yeah, I don't know, Myro, you probably have some ideas on this as well because you're more from the game design perspective. I'm talking about building and scripting skills, but yeah.
I mean, you could honestly make a game without doing nothing on your behalf. Like, the thing is that you can probably find a builder, right? Going back to when we were talking about fully hiring a team on percentage, you can probably get yourself a builder for like 15% and then a scripter for like 20% or 30%. And then you basically just manage. I mean, you're more of a newer developer, so if you can't program or build, or say you just don't like those parts of developing, then you can actually become like a manager, a designer if you like looking at games from like afar, right? I mean, I do not like I used to build, right? Honestly, I don't think it's bad or anything. That's not why I'm just being a manager or designer. I just always prefer like the leadership roles, you know what I mean? I feel like that just suits me more. I don't really like to be everywhere else. That's why I don't even like doing commissions. That's what I really like despise as for myself. But yeah.
Mm. So you don't like making those smaller things. You like the big picture. Yeah, I
Wait,
feel that.
what?
Is that what you're
What?
saying? Wait, no. Did I get it
What?
wrong?
No, wait, what? What the... I don't know if I said something wrong. I'm right now like laying down.
Oh, I
Like
thought. Well, you said you like the game design aspect. You don't like the specific little aspects, right?
what? No, what? No, I didn't say that.
No.
No, no. I said like if you don't like doing building or modeling, for example, maybe you can hop
Oh,
into game design or game managing,
yeah.
those overhead stuff. If you're a leader, then go for that. But I mean, like you could still do modeling, building, programming, all those other stuff. I
Absolutely.
didn't. I didn't
Bro, I told
because
him my role wants to stay
yeah,
pi that sorry pi and
yeah.
yeah.
I'm hallucinating. Okay, wait. Let me sit up real quick. I'm saying basically I'm just a manager and designer, not because I dislike building or anything. I'm just doing that because I feel like it fits me more.
Yeah, I see. For sure. Yeah, everyone has a different role. Everyone has something in that they're more passionate about. That's why I recommend trying different skills. Try UI, try scripting, try building, try it all at some point, and then go all out on one of them that you like.
Okay, I kind of woke up. I have a question I'm gonna answer.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. What is
Prop your
this?
head up and answer.
Okay, yeah. So ethics, right? The same guy that was trolling me
Yeah.
about me. Anyways, he said, what do you think pays the most in development? Like, do you think scripting
Ooh.
pays more than building, or if modeling pays more than UI design?
Well,
Okay, so
scripting, game design.
this is a really nice question because I talked to multiple developers about this,
Mm.
and I have like a few friends that are like growing, right? I mean, my friends, I put them in group chats with like large developers.
Oh, really?
Well, only like two of my friends because they're actually showing effort, so like I actually set them up because I feel like I'm just a good contact if you want to learn something because all my everybody I know, I treat them really good. So like if say you want to learn how to model, I can get my friend that's like that models for like a company, right? I can contact him and then I could convince him to teach you. You know what I mean? Like that's what I
Yeah.
did for a few of my friends. Like I contacted scripters that work somewhere else to help them with like their current issue or whatever. Like I'm really out here setting up people. But
Hmm.
anyways, I don't know why I just said that. I'm like hallucinating maybe. But um building it really varies. So then there's like new developer and then there's like elite developer. If you're a new developer, I would say builders make the most money as like when you're starting up because builders would make probably like 5K a map, right? 5K Robux when they're like starting out or like 2K Robux a map. And then scripters basically work for percentage usually when they're starting out. You there, Smarty? I
Yeah.
need somebody to talk to me
I'm
about that.
listening. Yeah. So scripters start for percentage. Hmm.
Yeah,
Can you
yeah,
elaborate?
scripters usually start for percentage, right? Um,
You,
Majority of people when they're making their first game, they just put everybody on percentage. Typically, from my experience, I noticed that people would pay the builders Robux and then give scripters percentage, right? Like pay the builders probably like 2K Robux for a map. Um scripters usually get like 20%. Sometimes you would give them Robux, but I mean, let me just skip forward to like the top tier, right? The companies. What they're paying their scripters is around 80,000 plus USD yearly. And
that's
the
true. If you look
scripters
at Adopt Me,
don't use
etc.
they don't really get what is it called? They don't really get a percentage. I mean, I would always give my scripters like 5 to 10%. Once I hit the company standards, I'll give them regular pay and like a tiny percentage pay because that's what you can do when you're a company. See, like I'm an individual right now, so I would give my scripter like 20%. You know what I mean? It's
Hmm.
basically what you're capable to do once you get up there. But
For sure. Hmm. And
so scripters would make at least 80K, right?
yeah,
There's some games that pay their scripters more than like what Spider-Man 2, the game that just released.
yeah,
I found out that some scripters on Roblox are getting paid more than the scripters, the gameplay programmers for Spider-Man 2. Isn't that crazy? A person that's working at Adopt Me, programming Adopt Me, is making more than somebody that programmed Spider-Man 2, which is actually crazy. Like,
that is crazy. That shows the
but
potential of Roblox. And yeah, I like what you're saying about the pay,
yeah.
and about percentage and about
Mhm.
pay. I think that kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier, which is that um, you know when you start out, you want to go more. Uh, you want to have larger percentage for people if you're starting out and you're a newer developer like most of you guys,
Yeah.
and you want to keep that more even. And you probably wouldn't want to. You probably wouldn't be able to have like small percentage for your scripters if that's like their main pay,
Yeah.
and you'd be probably closer to 50-50, especially if they're a development partner, not just
Yeah.
someone on your team. But yeah, that is interesting how Adopt Me. You said Adopt Me scripters are getting paid more than Spider-Man 2 ones, correct? On their studio.
Yeah. Spider-Man
That's
2
actually
ones,
crazy.
from their job posts, they're getting paid like 120 plus thousand.
Mm,
I mean,
dang.
you're getting paid more. That's actually crazy, but I'm not done because there's like still more levels to it because there's builders. Builders, once they're like at a high level, they're making like $1,000 per map. You got to realize that, like, um, anywhere you can see between 500 plus dollars, and then like 1,000 by thousands, like $1,000 or more they're making, and they can make that within like a month, right? Not a month, like a week or two, right? So they're gonna make like they can make affordable. They can make like 30K a year, or unless they have a percentage on the game, they can make more. That's why I would say if you're a builder or modeler and you're like really good at this and you know your value, because as a developer, it's good to know your value because
Definitely.
teams would like try to get you for cheaper price. That's why it's good to know your value. Um, but yeah, I mean like at a higher level, if you don't really are on percentage, you could probably make like $20,000 or $30,000 a year
Yeah.
just in USD
On
if
those
you're a
larger
build.
projects
Yeah,
or
and a
even medium.
modeler. I mean,
Hmm.
if you're just big, I'm saying if you're big, if you're like
Yeah.
big in this
Yeah.
space. But like if you're like freelance, I'm saying, I can imagine a freelance modeler makes more than a builder, but I don't know because models take quicker to make, and
Hmm.
you can charge a lot when they're even fast to make. Like a weapon model, I know a person that can make it within like 30 minutes and charge like $20.
Yeah.
That's
And
like $40 an hour.
a lot of that is, yeah, back to realizing your value. Adding on to that, yeah, I agree. And like, if you are able to get stuff done fast like that, that's actually a selling point. People pay more for that. Just because you're able to do your commissions fast,
Yeah,
that doesn't mean you should lower the price of your commissions. That means that you should frame it in the right way where people
yeah,
are like, oh, wow, I get this really quickly and it's high quality. That's a selling point. People will pay more for that. So don't just look at it like, oh, I get it done really fast. My work isn't worth anything. No, hold high value for yourself, as you said. And the more that you can hold that and hold that high value and, value yourself, the more that you can say, like, say someone gives you an offer that's really small and below what you think you're worth. Well, you can just say no. And out of principle, now you are, you have higher value and you are more likely, like, down the line, you're gonna have that time and you're gonna have that, um, you're gonna be just have more respect for yourself, and others are gonna respect you more when you respect your own value. And it all in all is just gonna work out better for you. A lot of people, if you're getting offers for really cheap, like, oh, I'm gonna do this for 100 Robux, um, maybe a few of those when you start out to get experience, sure, but value yourself highly. Don't necessarily take things that are super low pay, or take way too long for low pay. I remember I made this mistake when I started taking commissions originally. Just value yourself a lot, and if something's going bad, you can quit. You can quit it, but like on a commission, like I remember there was a time where I was on such a long commission. They kept on adding things, right? And you got to respect your own time and try and do your best to live up to a percentage of what they asked for. But if they're stretching it out and stretching you thin on more than what you agreed to do, you know, just cut it off. So that's just a lesson from what I've learned doing commissions in the past. And like,
okay.
yeah,
There's
I
one
agree.
thing, like one main factor. I mean, you can ask the rest like later on, guys, but the main factor that we missed out was UI design. See, like
Oh yeah. Hmm.
UI design, the freelance, they can make over like 50K a year. I mean, I would say at least like 30K a year because they can charge like $500 per UI. I know a guy that works at GameFam, right? Or at least he worked at, and he did their UI for like all their crossovers, right? And he can do a full game's UI within 1 day and charge $500 for it at starting price. See what I mean? But
Yeah.
the reason why he can do it within 1 day, a full game's UI, is because he's been commissioned the UI so much times. It's more of like a copy and paste like system to him because he has like a bunch of trading slides. You know what I mean? Like when you get asked for like say a trading frame like 50 times, then you're gonna have like all types of different ways a trading frame can look. So you just need to like copy and paste it and like change it up a bit, obviously to match the style. But making like $500 within 1 day is actually really nice. So that's also what's up. GFX
Hmm.
also makes a lot if you want to get into that because the higher end GFX you can charge like 20,000 Robux to 100,000 Robux. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Um, there's for USD ranges, some people charge $50 to like $100 plus. You know what I mean? That's just per.
Absolutely, yeah. And I know that when you start out in GFX, it's really hard, and you probably don't make that much.
Yeah,
Same for any skill, but it's all about like the marketing and the way that you sell it. Like a lot of Roblox developers, they don't really focus on that. That's something I talk about a lot in scripting secrets. You'll join and you'll see that oh wow, there's a lot more to commissions. There's sales to it, and I'm like applying my business knowledge to taking commissions in there. And I think one main thing from it is that, um, it is a lot about sales and marketing. If you were to make just like normal GFX and just put it out, I remember trying this a long time ago. Put it out, just be like, hey guys, I'm making GFX. No special, no special marketing or anything. And just like, I'm making GFX. Um, when you just do it like that, it's really boring. You got to show people how is this going to help them. Back to like persuasion, I was talking about this earlier. How is this going to
Also,
help them? And if you position it that way, if you position your work that way, how is this going to help this person? And you start to frame your work in the right light, where, oh, this is GFX. This is going to make your game grow because you're going to have a beautiful GFX for your game. Now it's not just about having a picture; it's about having your game grow. See, you got to sell it the right way, and that's something I talk about in scripting secrets, and that's just something that a lot of developers don't realize. It's very key, is marketing and sales to your commissions, and you can apply that to games as well.
um, also, one thing I would say, like,
Hmm.
if you want to promote yourself when it comes to GFX, what you can do, and this is for free because you're making it and then you're going to get attention. What if you just make a GFX with like a bunch of Roblox YouTubers? You know what I mean? Like just make one for fun, and then maybe you can like tag all of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, people have
And
done that to me.
and that itself is gonna drag attention. Um,
Absolutely.
I was thinking about another way, but like honestly, I'm like tired. I'm not gonna lie.
Sim, yeah. If you're tired, you can go ahead and log off. I mean, there's no pressure to stay on a
For
stream.
real.
Yeah, but
Thing is, I won't be returning much to the streams, future streams.
really, why, bro?
I mean, sometimes. But you know,
Sometimes,
like right now
occasionally, we
is a
might get my
lucky
row.
day. It's a lucky day for some reason.
It's a lucky day, guys. It's a lucky day you get Myro for 2.5 hours when he's falling asleep. Uh,
Oh, this would be actually
no, this is
iconic.
gold. This has been gold so far. We have dropped some insane advice.
A
Gaming
gaming.
PC, bro.
I
Who said
mean,
a gaming PC? You're bringing a
you could
gaming PC
you
into
could buy
this?
one. You could buy one with the advice for Myro.
Oh yeah. Use his advice. Make enough to buy a gaming PC, and it is your lucky day for a gaming PC. Yeah. Awesome. Gaming PC day. Apply the commission knowledge. Yeah. So let's see, what are people saying right now, dude? Uh, if you are spamming in chat, I'm not gonna reply. Sorry. So don't spam. Thank you. Um, any tips for people not finishing projects? Not really giving up, but creating a new one after a period of time.
Okay.
Honestly, in all kinds of things, I do this, and I think part of it is, obviously like, focus, um, trying to keep a principle of focus. Like, I'm gonna focus on one thing at a time. Like, my main focus is probably YouTube, and then also ABR right now. And if you keep a principle of focus, I think you can do much better, and just do not stray away from that. And well, how do you do that? Well, you need to develop discipline, which is where you focus on the long-term goal that you have rather than how you feel in the moment, and you go towards that rather than your short-term motivation. You go towards that long-term motivation, and you ensure that you do the steps needed every single day, even if you don't necessarily feel like it on that day. You have that long-term vision, and that is what I believe discipline is, because you had that long-term goal and you're staying on track every single day. And if you can ensure that you know, in a way, force yourself to do the work and to stay focused on one project. And sometimes not finishing a game is all right. If the game turns out just not how you want, or if you have a better idea, sometimes it's okay, but try and finish. But as this dude's saying right here, yeah, they have tried to make so many games and they haven't finished them. And these are some complex sounding games, like a Half-Life game, SCP game, TF2 game, CS:GO game. Yeah, kind of complex games. But yeah, if you're getting hung up on a complex game, um, go to a simpler game, probably like But overall, trying to keep that principle of focus and discipline is going to help the most in a lot of things. But yeah, Myro, anything to add to that? Uh, or you're probably going to want to log off soon, huh?
I mean, bro, you're like doing a whole marathon.
A marathon. Yeah, this is a marathon stream. He's snoozing. That's what Epic said. Somewhat, somewhat, but he's doing good. Uh, what? When did you start making money off Roblox? I started making money off Roblox in around 2020 or 2021 when I started to get scripting commissions. No, not scripting commissions at that time, but building commissions and building jobs where I worked on the Ryan's World Roblox game, building and working on that and providing some ideas. And I got paid in USD, and that was the first time I made a decent amount of money off Roblox. And that was where I was like, whoa, this is real. This is a great way to earn an income and do something you love. So yeah,
My was dying.
Myro's dying, bro.
Honestly,
Myro's all
I'm
right. He's fighting his own body shutting down.
no, I'm literally like I was looking through Discord. I'm just checking if people messaged me even though they didn't. Like I'm talking about developers. I'm like, I don't know, I'm checking on ABR progress and I don't know. I don't like have you guys like if you guys have ever like hired somebody, right? A developer, does anybody like constantly check their DMs to see if your developer contacted you back?
Oh
Like I'm
man,
just so eager to see the work.
I'm
Like
similar with editors. With that, I'm like, bro, I want to see the edit. I want to see the video.
yeah, no, that's the thing. Like every day, that's why I love development because every day I can wake up and see something new. Like so
Yeah,
good, so good.
yeah, for sure. Uh, well, this has been an amazing stream. It is truly a marathon. It's been great having you on, Myro. Probably about time to wrap up, but don't leave yet. There's probably a bit more value we're gonna drop here, but yeah, we're probably gonna end it soon. But yeah, Myro, any last things? Probably gonna wrap it up soon, but yeah, any last notes
Um,
for
I
the
don't know what to
for the
say.
developers?
Is there any other questions? Let me see.
There might be a few more we can get to and then head out.
Oh, here's a good one, right? How good do I have to be at scripting to get commissions?
Ah,
I actually have a friend, right? I I was talking earlier about how I was helping one of my closer friends to becoming a developer, right? And I put him like in group chats with other successful developers, scripting related, and he learned from them. But
oh,
because
that's
I was
that's awesome.
yeah, because I was able to get him with other developers and he got his solutions figured out in a high level within like the same hour because
Whoa.
obviously obviously I got him connected properly, but um he's doing commissions now, right? He's now making he was originally making 5k Robux, then 7k Robux, and then now 20k Robux and now 30k Robux, right? He never released the game even, you know what I mean?
That's
So
wild. That's good.
he's making some good stuff. Then he got hired for
Mhm.
a soccer game that has like 200 active right now. Um, he did their revamp update, but they haven't released the update yet.
Mhm.
So yeah, so I was able to help him a lot. I feel like he's also trying himself because he used to be like, let's say, addicted to playing video games all the time. But like development is now like what he's addicted to, say. Um, how
That's
would
awesome.
how would I say this? How good would you have to be? Well, the thing is that he wasn't specifically doing one thing. Um, he would constantly jump around to scripting VFX, scripting weapons, movement, vehicles. He wasn't like centering himself around one thing, you know. Um, I feel like because he was doing that, he was able to learn more at a time, right? Because all the systems that in the end are like they're connected to one another. I don't script, but like that's at least how it's viewed from my perspective. Like everything's connected to one another.
Yeah,
Um, but how good do you have to be? I mean, you have to just be able to make a system, right?
that's what I tell
Um,
people. Yeah.
one system is a system. That's the whole thing.
Mhm.
One system can make a game.
Yeah, exactly. So I tell people in scripting secrets, like, once you learn the basics, you have a good grasp on that, dude, that is all you need to start getting commissions. Because think about it, there's people in Smarty Devs every day when I look, there's people in Smarty Devs asking for simple things like, how do I script, or script me a simple car, or script me a simple obby, or something even simpler than that, maybe. People will pay a few hundred Robux for simple things. So you don't really need any level of skill above beginner to start getting commissions. Uh, and of course, you want to build on that, but that's all you need. If you're proficient and you can make stuff and you're a hard worker and you can find those commissions, you
That-
can, yeah,
yeah,
you can
I
do
hear
it as
you.
a beginner.
Yo, Dad's out here mad.
Huh?
Dad's Dad's out here in the group chat, and not a
Oh
group
man,
chat in chat. He's been mad. Like he's been
why is
trying
he
to.
mad,
Bro,
dude?
he's been spamming the same question.
Bro, sorry, we can't get to every single
Yeah,
person's question. We're trying, duds. What is this
Dad's.
question? Collect
I
falling
have to.
blocks as my first project as a single dev, but from my perspective, it looks boring for players to play. Advice? Also, mind giving me some monetization ideas? Myro?
Dad said the only dev he can rely on is not answering, bro. He dissed me.
Huh.
That's
Oh, shoot.
I'll help you. I don't
He's
really
still
care.
gonna help you. He's still gonna help
Um,
you, dude.
um, the idea, I think there's a game like it. Like basically when you walk and then like the pads drop down. Let me read your idea again. Collect falling blocks. Basically like those Mario games. I get your idea. You know, like those Mario Party games where like the things drop and then you gotta collect it in the basket. I think that's what you are referring to. So like collecting falling blocks. Collecting falling blocks could be fun. I I don't really see how you do it because you can do it as a simulator or you could do it as a 2D game. But a 2D Roblox game, 2D Roblox games just don't really go too far. Um, but
Hmm.
honestly, I feel like that's something for you to figure out because you came up with the idea. I don't really know. Like currently, I'm like sleepy, bro. You can't rely on me for that part. But for monetizing it, um, you should add like a basket limit, right? The OG simulators used to have limits on like your what is it called? So like those OG games like Lightsaber Simulator, right? I actually know the the developer. Henry the dev. I mean, I spoke to him like once, but like I'm gonna flex that. But anyways,
Yeah.
um, in Lightsaber Simulator, that old game, you used to swing and you used to have a capacity. You can only swing 15 times before you have to empty your bag. Does anybody like remember a system like that? It's older Roblox, but basically you can do something like that. So like you can only catch this much amount. So like when the blocks are falling, you walk up to it and you can upgrade your backpack. At first, you can only catch 5 blocks, and then you can go sell it. But then you could add a game pass like infinite blocks. It's an old idea from older Roblox games, but if you notice, a lot of Roblox games get recycled, and like you can look to the back, you could look to the past. There's always like references for everything. But a way you can just monetize would just be an infinite basket. I mean, a larger basket, for example, collect something in like a larger means. Um, what's another way? I mean, it depends how funny you want the game to be, but like you can add developer products that can like grief everybody else. So
Oh,
like
man.
reset everyone's basket. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? That would be really funny. I can see YouTubers paying for that.
These are some gold
So
ideas. Whoever's
um
question this was, you got to be writing this stuff down, bro. Myro's making you a hit game right now. He's giving you the sauce.
something else. I mean, you could do a times two like brick thing. So like when it falls into your basket, it's double for like the whole server or whatever. Because Pet Simulator X actually has something similar to that. So like you can do like server events times two catching or like stuff like that, bro. I'm like tired. You could do
Yeah.
a good one is a shopping cart.
Ooh.
A Game Pass, the shopping cart.
Oh.
Yo, I literally woke up after saying that.
Yeah. Your idea woke you up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that must be a good idea then.
I know for a fact
Better
Myros
implement it.
makes these simple ideas sound easy to do when it's gonna. You know what? A shopping cart. You know how long it should take? Smarty can make that within a day, and like,
Yeah.
and you guys can make
Shopping cart's
you
easy. Yeah.
guys, yeah, it's a shopping cart.
Yeah.
Like it's I don't think because the way that he would have it drop is that it would drop by like, but you can do it too. You have his resources. Yeah, you're you. Smarty is Smarty. I always tell everybody like I'm Myro, and like I don't know, that sounds like an ego type thing to say, but like you should always say you're yourself. You know what I mean? I mean you can praise yourself or whatever, but like I mean, I mean, Smarty gives you tools, and you just gotta like learn off of it. You staying in here, meanwhile, a few other people left since it got late, but I mean we're still pushing through. Um,
Mm-hmm.
The ideas is not that hard. It's a shopping cart, for example. It's a shopping cart. I mean, I cannot script it, but I mean, like maybe I can if I watch some Smarty videos.
Mm.
That sounded like a hashtag ad. Hashtag ad. Um, but like to a scripter, that's not that hard. You just need a Okay, I'm gonna sound like that sounds kind of rude because I'm not the scripter here, but like it's really just like you having to attach a cart to the player's hands and then
Yep.
just like drive the cart around
Yeah.
and it needs to land inside the cart.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously the cart would be big. You can have it more speed based. Oh, that's another good one. You know those bicycles with the wagon in the back? Those would be nice. You know, like the little wagon that some people put their kids in? No, Smarty said no. But
Lol.
yeah, yeah, that's a good one. Like a pickup truck Game Pass. You could expand this idea now. Like stuff falling into your car. I don't know, man. I'm going back to sleep though.
Okay. Okay. Bro's taking a nap right now. But that, dude, you just gave a speech that's like super insane for people. It's going to be really helpful for whoever's listening already this late in the stream, the dedicated people watching now. And now, yeah, now you're falling asleep right after giving such an impeccable speech to them. But yeah, so I completely agree. Like you can do you can you have the yeah, yeah. Bro gave the
Oh,
most inspiring speech and
another
now
thing.
he's gonna snooze.
I
Yeah.
have another thing.
I agree with what you're
You
saying.
can make a dev product about like making it rain. That would go hard. I'm not gonna lie. Like a make it
Oh man.
rain, and then a bunch of bricks would just fall.
Oh yeah.
That would be nice. And then maybe what you can do is you gotta
Most
collect it
inspiring
and
snooze.
you gotta sell it. Yeah.
With every snooze, his ideas get better.
Oh yeah, you could do make it rain food. That's good. Yeah. No, but
These are some good
like
ideas. Whoever's idea this was is getting like the most insane like ideas right now. Like you have the whole game plan written out by Myro just now. It's in stone. You gotta go do it now.
the
Your Raining
monetization
Bricks game.
plans. Yeah, monetization plans.
It
Yeah,
wasn't me,
no,
but I appreciate it. Yeah, you better appreciate it, bro. Blame.
I'm
You
doing this
better.
like while like basically sleeping but awake.
Yeah?
Actually
Yeah.
crazy. That'd
Dude.
be he, um
Okay. I think we're gonna end off soon. We got a few more questions. I'm gonna run through them and yeah. He's gonna have to. There's probably a lot of stuff, epics that you can go back in the stream and write down. There's a lot of ideas and a lot of value we put through. We just poured our heart and soul in this stream on how to everything we know about growing games, everything we know about monetizing and networking, like pretty much a ton of stuff that we know, all packed in one stream. Myro's out here with inspiring, snoozing speeches. It's going good. I'm liking it. We should stream more for sure. Now, I want to answer these last few questions, but yeah. So, the person who okay, official Rexo, he's asking me. He's been asking this for 10 minutes. He said, "How long would it take to learn scripting without any experience as a person with barely any motivation?" I already watched your tutorial and it's really helpful. Well, first of all, I would like to um, ask you like, how do you know that you have no motivation? So what is motivation exactly in this context? You got to ask yourself these questions because if there's something holding you back as trivial and as abstract as motivation, you really got to pick it apart. Like, what is the actual problem here? Because it's probably not motivation, to be honest. Like a lot of people, they say, "Oh, I'm not motivated," but the thing is, you are you're actually just focusing on the wrong thing. What you got to focus on is the long-term results that you want rather than whatever you're going to do in the short term. You're focusing on that short-term feeling. Well, I feel more like eating these Lay's chips, right? I feel like more like eating these Takis than working on my Roblox game. When instead it's more about in the long term, in the long term way out when I'm up there on the front page, and that's my goal, which one's more worth it, eating this food right now or getting on the front page? And that's where you get your motivation, that long-term vision. And the clearer you see that in your mind, the clearer that you see, oh yeah, there's my game right there up on the front page. I see that. I believe I can do that. The clearer that is in your head, the more that you're going to be able to go towards that, and the more motivated you're going to be in the moment, and the more motivated you're going to be in the long term. And then you add on to that discipline, doing the actions when you don't necessarily feel like it. That is where you're like, okay, now I am motivated. And it isn't because I just got some random motivation from the sky. It's because I looked into what I want to do in the future. I'm not just sitting here thinking, what should I do today? No, I'm looking at the long term. I'm looking years out, That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about years out. Yeah, I just said don't eat. Yeah. But that's just an example. Like, are you gonna focus on the short term instant gratification, or are you gonna focus on the long term and delayed gratification, which is getting those long term results? And I don't think you can just get discipline or get motivation by just like forcing yourself to do stuff. I think it's more about looking at that long term result, and then you have that vision in place. Now you can say, okay, now you can weigh your options in the moment. Like, okay, should I do this or should I do this? Well, I probably should work on my game if my goal is to have a successful game one day. And that's what I would say.
it just got quiet.
Just got quiet. But yeah, so how long would it take to learn scripting? I wouldn't even worry about how long it would take to learn. I wouldn't worry about motivation either, because motivation, I just showed you how to get motivation, why short-term motivation isn't something to focus on or think about at all, why you want that long-term motivation and discipline. And yeah, and you watch my tutorial. If that's helpful, just keep going back to that, repeating stuff that you learn. Repetition is one of the best ways to learn something. And that is, if you can repeat things and practice them and edit the code and mess with it and make small little projects like I talked about earlier, you're going to have a much easier time learning. That's the advice I give. Now, How can I work for Jimmy Games? We're not really hiring anyone at the moment, but I appreciate you asking. Um, if you want to work for somebody, I would recommend joining Smarty Devs. There's tons of people in there looking to work together. 11,000 members. That's a lot of people you could potentially work with right there. So, yeah. Um, what else is in this chat? How
Bro, I
much
thought they
time
were
should I
gonna. Oh wait, what? Oh, your streams like oh.
how much time should I put towards my deving as a student? Well, as a student, that's difficult. You know, I've done it. I literally was working for the Ryan's World Roblox project as a student. So really, it's about looking at time blocking. I'm not the best at this, but you can set up chunks of time in your day where you do certain things. And even if you're just developing for an hour, 30 minutes, 20 minutes, if you're doing that consistently, like um, it's gonna be uh, much more um, much more feasible to work as a student and also be doing development. Yo, Myro,
Yeah.
what's up? All right,
Nothing.
I think we're probably about to head out. But yeah, it's been a great stream, and I hope you guys learned a lot. And if you have specific parts to go back to and take notes on, I would recommend doing that because we did go over a lot of different topics, a lot of different questions, a lot of different things. And I think that there was some insane stuff here.
I
And
think
yeah,
I think we should just talk to the one spammer.
the one spammer.
YGG's, yeah.
Bro, I
Nah,
talked
he's
to the
been
other spammer just now.
yeah, no, YGG's, no,
Okay,
he's been begging for like an hour.
okay, we
Spam.
got him. Get
That's
it. You
dedication.
you got this one, Myra.
Oh, 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 let me sit up.
The final stretch, half asleep. He's gonna do it. The
Yo, my
amazing
bone.
speech.
Okay, I know
Come
how to
on.
animate and build models. I am good at it. What is the best way to get commissions, like get paid Robux or USD because I want to be a dev, I want to make money. Um, well, make a portfolio, right? You can make a Trello one. Those are simple.
Wait.
Just open the Trello. What were we saying?
Oh, I was
You're
just
gonna
gonna say, want to define portfolio just so they're clear on what that is.
Oh yeah, portfolio is basically like a place where you can store all of your work, like videos of your work, um, and then you can keep it public, so like you can send it to people that want to hire you. One thing I want to mention is that when I'm hiring people, if somebody automatically sends me their portfolio, I instantly never respond to them. Like I
Hmm.
promise, there's some people that are like going to look back and they're going to be like, "Oh, I sent my portfolio. Like, what's wrong with that?" In my eyes, I think it's rude. I'm not going to lie. Like when people
Interesting.
like when you ask what's your prices, somebody just actually like sends their portfolio and says nothing. Because honestly, I feel like it's better if they actually type than just to send the link. You know what I mean? Like just say
Yeah.
something or something, and then say that you can also look at my portfolio. Like mention that. Like don't just send the link because then I literally like ghost you. I never reply to you after that.
Hmm.
So it's like um I don't know. I feel it's odd. Smarty's podcast streams in the middle of the night. Everyone
Yeah.
is tired. Yeah,
Truman
no, but
Surrender. Thanks for the 199 super chat. He needs scripting secrets. Join today. Who? Who needs it? Everyone, I guess. Who are we talking about?
wait, what was I talking about?
You need it. Yeah. No, Myro needs it. It makes you less tired. No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. So when you're getting commissions, right? Wait, what am I saying? That's the thing. I'm sorry, bro. Yeah, so just
No worries.
make a Trello, make a Trello. Um, just make a Trello and then write what are you doing? You're building, right? So then do like size based Trello, right? If you want to do like say if you made a map that's 100 by 100, so like put 100 by 100 as a column and then drop an image of the map. and then same thing for like 500 by 100 by 500. Um, I would say include your prices, but when people message you, try to be more friendly with them. You know what I mean? Obviously, don't be too friendly, but I'm saying obviously don't be too friendly because people would try to make or like take advantage of you, which is something I've been trying to put out the stream when I was telling you about like know your own worth because I feel like that's a huge thing. Um but when it also comes to animations, do the same thing. I feel like Trello portfolios are the most valuable when they're in wait, what? I feel like animations within the Trellos are all like you can do the same thing for scripting, building, for everything. You can have a Trello portfolio, except for SFX, I would say. For that, it's better if you do it in Discord, but the thing is that in Discord, people can steal the SFX. But either
Yeah,
way, you can
dude.
get it back because of Roblox's copyright rules.
That's a really interesting point. I haven't really thought about using Trello as for portfolios. I haven't
Some
really thought
people
about
do
that.
that on Hidden Deb.
Discord's a good point too. You can make a Discord
Yeah,
server and
you
have
can
that
make
be
a
your
Discord
portfolio.
one.
That's a good point.
Discord one is good, but it depends how you want to do it. I would say
Hmm.
Trello's the best because thing is that if somebody joins your Discord portfolio and they notice that you only have like 10 people in the server, right? They probably won't want to commission you because you're less known. You know what I mean? You prefer to work with somebody that's more popular. And if somebody's more popular, you just automatically assume they're more right. So if
Oh
they
yeah.
don't know if they don't know that you're a smaller developer, it's better if you just have a Trello because they cannot assume this or that. They're just gonna see your work and hire you just because of your work, no other factors.
Mm.
Ah, sleeping Naru on top.
Sleeping
Sleeping
Myro
Naru.
on top. Remember
Yeah.
that. Sleeping Myro on top, bro. Well, we'll catch you on the next sleepy stream, I guess. This has been a good stream. It probably is about time to end the stream and give Myro a break and some rest. But yeah, so I think we
There's like
covered everyone's
three more
all the
minutes.
questions, including the spammers. Yes, not all the
Yeah.
questions, but most of them. But yeah, Myro, you think we're about ready?
3 more minutes. 3 more minutes. I'm gonna make it till 3 o'clock.
3 more minutes? You're trying to go to 3 o'clock, bro? That's
No,
insane.
yo, you know what happens at 3 a.m.
3
All the
a.m.
scary stuff come out.
Well, it's not 3 a.m. for me. So how does that work? If it's um what
Whatever,
time is it
whatever.
for me? If it's midnight for me and if it's 3 a.m. for you, does it still count? That's a question. Is it still
Well,
horror hour?
it's gonna come to you later on. You know what I mean? It's like a train. It comes through
Mm.
and it stops by and leaves.
So weird things will start happening for you, but then all of a sudden, like 4 hours later, I'm gonna wake up and there's gonna be some crazy like monster at my
Yeah, yeah,
doorstep or something. So it's like a um, delayed jump scare.
yeah,
Ah, yeah, gotcha, dude. Myro is dropping some insane advice today.
yeah. Real, real. 3 a.m. 3 a.m.
3 a.m. knowledge.
Yeah, no. Look at the face I clipped for this. That's how you know I'm teaching. Uh,
Aha. What kind of face is that? That's
it's free.
interesting.
When you give the people free UGC, this is what they do.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's true.
I think he
Now,
bought it.
dude, we have 1,026 views on this stream. People have come in and out of this stream 1,026, 1,027 times now. That is kind of crazy. That is a lot of traffic coming in and out of the stream. And more people are going to watch after the fact. If you're watching now after the stream's out, just comment below. You are a legend for watching this whole 3 hour thing after it came out. You have to comment if you're watching this after it came out. You have to. Right now, comment. I want to know if you actually did that.
Yeah. Myro survived to 3 a.m.
Yeah, for real.
Anyways, um, hmm. Well, somebody gotta check up on me at like 4 a.m. Okay, see if I'm still alive.
Oh shoot. Yeah, you guys are gonna have to check up on
You
Myro.
know about the whole 3 a.m. rule. I need to survive. Honestly, it's better if we just keep this going for another hour so I
It's
survive.
3 a.m.
So I don't get
It's
attacked
3
in the car.
a.m. Wait, what? Oh yeah, keep it going for Myro's safety. It's no longer about his sleep, it's about his safety now.
Yeah, look, there's a monster already right in front of me. Look at him.
Oh my goodness. Bro. Chill, bro. Chill. It's me. This is perfect.
It's officially 3 a.m.
It's officially 3 a.m. and the monsters are coming out. I swear, like all the people watching are about to like join in like monster outfits trying to scare us.
But what was that?
More monsters are coming in the game. Yo, Truman Surrender, thank you for the 199 again. Smarty,
Ronaldo
we're
versus
in the same time zone. Awesome. PST for the win. Best time zone in the whole world, right?
Ronaldo for the win. Come over, boys.
Ronaldo. Nice, nice. I do not know. Dude, we are. Is this ever gonna end?
Oh, look at this fit, right?
Why did the video freeze? It shouldn't have frozen. If it froze,
Look at this fit.
I
This
don't
is the
know.
best
It's
part.
probably the 3 a.m. monsters causing the stream to freeze. Honestly,
You see
that's
this
what I'm hoping
Halloween
for.
fit? Look at this Halloween fit, chat. Look at this.
Dude, this is
It's tough.
crazy. It's
It's
turning.
tough.
It's turning into Halloween part 2 right now.
It's tough. You wanna see my Christmas skin? Let me show you guys, chat. Let me show you guys. This is Myro around the Christmas season. It's from last year Christmas. I'm not changing it. Even when I get my fedora. Okay, look at this. Look at this.
Whoa,
Look at
whoa.
this. Look at this. Oh. Oh.
I kind of remember that. I think I remember that. Where's your face? Santa
It's
doesn't
in
have
the
a face
beard.
anymore. Sorry, bro.
Because of how wise I am, my face got sucked into my beard.
Mm, I should have
Yeah.
known that. Just,
See, I got a sword, but you can't even see it. It just gets behind the pink jacket.
I just heard some.
Yo, we should get a petition to make Smarty turn red for Christmas.
Turn red. Bro, I have to like rebrand my whole channel, change my channel banner. I just got a new channel banner already. I can't be doing this, bro. Can't be doing this to me. Red Smarty. I
Yo,
guess.
if you can get him to 100,000 subscribers, he has to rebrand to red. Like by Christmas.
Oh man, 100K, I guess. Maybe.
No, how about this? He needs to go black. Like,
Full
so that
black
looks
Smarty.
yeah. No,
Dark.
actually, that would go tough though. That would look nice.
That would look
Like
cool.
a black tracksuit.
Yeah. Not
That would
gonna lie.
actually look cool.
Myro has good ideas when he is half asleep. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point there. Ethics.
That's because you guys gave me an idea to work with. This whole time, you guys just asking me questions, but he gave me an idea to work with. See, if you gave me more ideas to work with, I would give you some stuff, you know?
True. And he's also reviewing games and scripting secrets. Like people are going in there and he drops a bunch of ideas all of a sudden on people. I'm like, what? Another chance to get Myro's insight. When I'm half asleep, any idea sounds twice as good. Is it? It's funny how it's like, again, it's like Halloween too here. I'm the only one in a normal outfit at this point. What the heck is this?
I'm cooking. The eyes messed up too.
Marty's gonna get copyrighted for having toe. No, get off my screen. Get off my screen, bro. You trying to kill this? No.
Yo, look at the eyes on my character. Bro got 4 eyes.
Why am I not escaping the creatures? The thing is, I'm just invincible because It's not actually 3 a.m. for me. It's 3 a.m. for Myro. So Myro can die from these creatures. If he didn't become a creature himself and turn to the dark side, he'd be dead right now. But luckily, he saved himself.
Here, I got a custom Spider-Man
I'm
skin.
immune because of my time zone. But I might be
Look at
attacked
this.
randomly in 3 hours, 4
You
hours.
guys like this? I made this by myself, by the way. Look at the fit.
Whew.
Ooh, that's tough, right? That's
That
tough.
is.
That's tough. Yeah, that's tough.
What time is it for me? It's 1 a.m. No, it's not 1 a.m. It's midnight, but it's starting to feel like 1 a.m.
Bro, it's 12?
Yeah,
No, that's crazy.
it is crazy. Yeah, but probably about time for all of us to log off, including the monsters. Time to stop
Yo,
haunting
Smarty
us.
can go on for like another 4 hours.
Another 4 hours, an all-nighter.
Another 4 hours.
Oh man. Yeah.
Yo, that's actually crazy. Think about it. Like, imagine we all get big, right? And then we look back in the stream, and we could be like, Myro answered my question. The
Hmm.
stream is mad. That's mad funny. And then like the dude that made that little not the boxing game. Why am I thinking about boxing? I'm saying the person that made that little dropping game with like the things dropping down, and then they actually like make 1,000 concurrent user game off of my idea.
Mm-hmm.
That's lit.
Bro, you're gonna Myro. Nah. Nah.
Um,
Oh man. Yeah, he's probably gonna if he's still here, I don't know if he's still here, but um he's probably gonna be like taking all kinds of notes off the stream when you were giving that speech, the speech of a lifetime, one of the best speeches on Roblox, about how to make a block game.
yeah, no,
That was
that's
good.
crazy. I opened up Roblox and Roblox flashed white in my eyes.
Oh
Yeah, no,
shoot.
my eyes are traumatized. They're like, they're going through some stuff. I don't know why we're. Wait a minute. Wait, what is he wearing on a shirt? Blame, what are you wearing? Can I see a shirt? Like, move it up to the camera more, because I cannot rejoin because for some reason Smarty has like a 6 player limit
I got like the
to
smallest servers on
server.
Roblox.
Why did you put a small server? No, I got dark mode on, but like a tab was loading up and it was like all white. Can I see your shirt? Blame.
Blame.
Cool Math Gaming. Oh, I was
Sucker.
like, where does that look familiar? Because sometimes I know I'm probably a bad example for this, but like sometimes in class, I would hop on Cool Math Games.
Mmm.
Rarely,
Pyro.
rarely, rarely. I'm not bad.
Rarely.
I'm not probably like twice a month. Twice a
Yeah.
month. You know why? I play the pool game on there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, pool is like 8 ball pool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like playing chess. Chess on the school computer. That's
I
a
don't
good
know
game.
how to play chess.
Chess, just learn it. You won't regret it.
Oh no, I like know how to play it partly. Like
Yeah.
if in person I cannot play it, but on
Mm.
computer I could play it.
Yeah. Because it kind of tells you where to move basically, and it tells you if
Yeah,
you're
it
messing
tells you.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I think I'm gonna end it right here. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. This was truly an amazing stream. 3 a.m. is getting a little wild here, so we're probably gonna turn it off. But yeah, and late. So yeah, thanks for watching. Yeah. So you're telling me this dude Smarty can explain developing in that, and his answer for learning chess is learn it. Yep, exactly. That is my answer for learning chess. That's all. Just learn it. For development, I can tell you I can talk for hours, years. Just give me years, I'll keep talking about development. Chess, just learn it. Just learn it. But yeah, later guys. Thank you for tuning in, and take notes on this entire stream if you're serious. Not if you want to. And especially if you're that block guy.